Looks like we have one person. Why is this so fucking black? Yo, what's up? X Trizo PR. Yo, pretty boy, what's up? Louis Kuno, what's up? I'm here to the end of time with you, Father. What's up? What's up, Michael Sloan? I was going to actually Twitch while I play games, sort of play games while I do combos or whatever, but I can't get Twitch to work. And I looked, and I guess there's a problem with Twitch right now, so I guess we're not going to be doing that. I guess. What the? I can't get this fucking screen. This is ridiculous. I'm here, my guy. What's up, just dude? Why does this? What is? Can I? What is this? Yeah, that's all I need. No, what the? This is ridiculous. God Green, probably servers on. Stay safe, Godspeed. What's up, dude? I don't know what the fuck is going on. That's pretty fucking annoying, though. But hey, I guess I can do another. I wanted to do it on Twitch because I just did it on YouTube here, but I was going to do another talk about Japan, ask me anything, game theory shit. What is wrong with this thing right now, dude? That's really fucking annoying. Where's the link for this YouTube live thing so I can now post it on some bullshit, I guess? Oh, there we go. Wow, is YouTube? Oh, man. Is this fucking thing freezing now? Live. Where's the fucking link for this shit? There we go. Okay, I guess this is back to Twitch, I guess. So another Ask Me Anything. I was going to, like I said, I wanted to talk over video game shit, but guess we won't be fucking doing that. Where is this live stream? Oh, well, so how's everyone's day doing, dudes? We can talk about games, Japan again, game theory, whatever you dudes want, I guess. We can talk about the coronavirus. What should we do, dudes? Oh, that kind of, man, I really, I took the wind out of my sails because I was about to do that. Let's see. You will become a god if you do this every day. I don't know about that. I don't know if I have that many interesting stories. X Tirazio PR. I'm all right. I was ordering some parts for my arcade so they can custom artwork. That's pretty cool. DOS2 is the best game ever. Did you mean Dead or Alive 2? Is that what you meant? Lyra and Planet Clay is not already a god. I wish I was that cool. Unfortunately, I'm not actually that cool, dudes. I'm sorry. Divinity Original Sin 2. I don't know what that is. And what's up, ICTM? Again, we could go back to Pikachu if people just want to see Pikachu instead. Pikachu's ASMR voice. Boy, I was planning on doing combos on Twitch and talking about stuff, and that really, that's kind of a bummer. I had no idea what a divinity engine. Sup, Giga Nut? What's up, dude? That's Dymo. If you like the LTG, if you like the Buttmonger cover picture and the LTG cover picture, he did that for me. Will the new Goku DLC be the next thing you do for the new Goku DLC? That'll be the next thing I do. I hope that's fun. Man, I swallowed the wrong way. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, the new Goku DLC will be the next thing I do. I think that comes out like in about a week and a half or something, doesn't it? Like a week and a half. So hopefully it's fun, but I'm worried that he's just going to be. I'm worried that he's going to be very pre-planned. I'm worried that it's going to be very. He's going to be a very like a very cheap pop kind of character because he can do a special to a special, and people are going to be like, "Oh, sweet dude, I did a special to a special," and it's going to get. It depends on how pre-planned he is. I'm kind of worried about it, but hopefully he's at least fun enough to make something for it, right? I've been going back to playing the old KOF games. Yeah, I miss KOF too. I hope the KOF games are. I wish they would make some new KOF games like the old ones, dude. You make cute Pikachus. Do you have videos on your channel about why you like Pikachu and you use Pikachu as an avatar in a lot of videos? I'm just a nerd. Not much more than that. I just think that Pikachu looks cute and he looks funny. Tony McRory. Hey, Clayton. I hope this question hasn't already been asked. Were you ever bad at fighting games? I want to know when and how did you make your breakthrough in games? Well, I mean, like anyone, I think when I was a little kid playing, I was, bad. But I guess it depends on how. I don't think anyone is probably good the first time they touch a controller. But no, I told the story when I first went to tournaments, which again, I can tell this story. So, of course, I had played games like Street Fighter 2 and everything like that. And I said this before, some of my only good memories as a kid is when I used to get taken to the arcade. I had a pretty bad life growing up. So, some of my only good memories in life were actually going to the arcade. So, I remember playing Street Fighter 2 and I remember playing, Street Fighter Alpha came out. So I remember all these games that like, people talk about like I could talk about all the games like how people don't understand how popular Street Fighter 2 was. Like I would use this example. Like, do you ever know like I don't know if they still do it at GameStop, but have you ever gone to like a GameStop or wherever and they have you can play like a video game at like a store? Street Fighter 2 was so fucking popular when I was a little kid, dude. You could go to Sears or J.C. Penney or wherever the fuck they had like a video game. There would be a line of like 20 people, just like at Sears or something or wherever it was. Or say if they didn't have GameStop back then, they had something like they had Funko Land and maybe it was Electronic Boutique or something. I forget, but people would be lined outside of the store just to play Street Fighter 2 on Super Nintendo versus somebody else. Lines out of the store. That's how popular Street Fighter 2 was. People don't understand that. Like, dude, I vividly remember that as a kid. But anyway, so what happened was I remember reading about guys like Mike Watson and all that kind of stuff when I was a kid, you know what I mean? And so eventually it must have been, I couldn't drive. I don't remember, it was like 1999 or 2000. It was a long fucking time ago now. And my friend was like, hey, dude, there's actually a Street Fighter tournament. You play Street Fighter, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, I played Street Fighter before. And he's like, yeah, there's actually a tournament. And I was, I couldn't even drive yet. So I was like, dude, I didn't know. I was still a kid. So I was naive to how tournaments worked. I was like, I didn't know that regular people could enter tournaments, right? And so I went to that tournament and I basically, because it was in Ann Arbor, and Ann Arbor was like a college town, right? So there was actually some Japanese foreign exchange students there and everything like that. And man, I was demolishing people. Like my friend, you guys probably don't know him anymore, but since I'm telling the story, like my friend now, Bhaskar came up to me and he's like, dude, that dude's from Japan. I've never seen anyone got beat that guy before. And I was like, oh, really? And so the dude wouldn't even enter the tournament, but basically it wasn't a huge tournament because video games tournaments didn't have a ton of people back then, but all these people that were considered really good in the Midwest and East Coast were there besides the best guy. And basically my very first tournament ever, I beat everybody besides the guy that was considered the second best in the Midwest of America at the time. And they're like, dude, you should actually enter tournaments. You're good. And I was like, oh, I'm good at video games. I didn't know, right? And that was like my very first time. So, I mean, you say, how did I mean, I'm sure I sucked when I first played video games, just like anybody. Like, what am I doing? I don't even know how to do like a Hadoken. I have no idea. You know what I mean? But my first tournament, no, I got second at actually, and then it just kind of went from there, I guess. But y'all got to practice and shit like that. But anyway, let me go back and see what I missed. Giganot, Grady. I don't know if you answered this, but what did you think of Zoe's Dust Loop? I don't know. Someone posted some kind of thing about that. I don't play Grand Blue though. Yo, it's Clayton Live. What's up? What is this? Just some guy. It's an image. Lewis, actually, what game would you recommend for someone who's done with Fighter Z but kind of likes the combo system? I don't know of any game that has a combo system like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I'm not sure. I've heard that some of the new BlazBlue games have a time-based system when you do combos, but I'm not very familiar with them, so I'm not sure. James Strombone, how do you feel about Grand Blue Versus as a game? I don't care about Grand Blue. Lucas Alpha, I subscribed when you were talking about Guilty Gear. Sorry if you don't like the game much or something. Well, I like the series. It depends. I mean, I think Guilty Gear is one of the most important fighting games of all time, actually, now. Hypnotic Gaming. Street Fighter 2 was banging in the malls arcade stop. And yeah, people don't understand how popular Street Fighter 2 was. Street Fighter 2 was extremely popular. And let me know, I'm not saying anyone has to. No one has to do it, but is there a super chat thing on just in case? I just want to make sure that's on because I'm trying to get my poor boy money. So no one has to donate or anything like that. But I'm just trying to make sure because it wasn't on last time and I had to turn it on a little bit through, right? That's like, yeah, no, people, Street Fighter 2 was so, wait, what was this? Troy McCoy, man, I remember playing Fighters 2 as a kid. My only escape from reality was when my mom, yeah, Street Fighter 2, man, you could go to, that's what people don't get. Like, how about, when you go to like a grocery store and you can still see like a grocery store has like might have like a, what do they call it? Like a UFO kind of catcher game. Like people would go to grocery stores just to play Street Fighter 2. Like you could walk into a grocery store and you could see a group of people playing Street Fighter 2. Like that, can you imagine like walking into like a Myers or like a Kroger or whatever it is? And can you imagine getting your shopping cart and having to move around like a group of people playing a UFO catcher game? But Street Fighter 2, you could see a group of people playing that. People don't understand how popular Street Fighter 2 was. It was incredible. That's why when people think that video games are more popular nowadays, it's just more popular to be a nerd. Fighting games are not more popular. So you don't even understand how insane Street Fighter 2 was back in the day. Let me see. This is what is this? Lewis, yeah, the True 5F. Hey, what's up? Ironfield, Arisaka. Hey, what's up? Joshua K. Hi, Barzard. What's a modern KOF you actually like from 2003 onward? God, I don't even fucking know. I think King of Fighters 2 Ultimate. I think that was technically after 2003. I guess that kind of technically comes after 2003. That's not the answer you want, but I wasn't very horny about any of the new King of Fighters, really. So not the answer you wanted, but there you go. Let me see. Ochako Uraka, first time watching, just subbed. I appreciate it. Thanks, dude. Tony McGorry. Well, it seems like you get the science really well. Similar to how Desk can do breakdown combos. Yeah, I've talked about Desk before. I feel like when people ask me about Desk, they kind of want me to like throw some shade on him or something. So Desk has probably the best execution. I'll give him that in combo stuff. Closest thing for Fire Z, I'd say, is GG. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I would say is similar to Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I think Dragon Ball Fighter Z actually does have unique combos, actually. I think the whole smash system is unique and sliding and all that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do think Dragon Ball Fighter Z is a unique game, actually. Hypnotic Gaming. Hey, Clayton, you've probably been asked this 1,000 times, but what did you think about the Guilty Gear aside from the crap servers? Oh, man, I made a whole video on that, dude. I think it's a fucking mess right now, right? I mean, I'm not sure. Depends on how much you guys want me to talk about it again. I mean, I mean, it's kind of getting kind of be like a long question, I think, right? Do you still enjoy playing non-fighting games? Yeah, but I play RPGs, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, people think I'm saying it to lie. When I was winning all those tournaments, I was not some dude that was playing video games 8 hours a day, dude. That wasn't me. I've always been someone that plays like in a lot of RPGs and other games. So yeah. What do you think about Grand Blue? I don't know what the Grand Blue EX system is. I don't care about Grand Blue. So you would have to explain to me what the EX system of Grand Blue is. I played Street Fighter 2 and Kai Laundra. Yep. Luis Marchino 906G. I remember arcades lined up in the markets in the early 2000s. Yeah. Early 2000. I mean, arcades were still, I've said this before. Even when I went to Japan, you'll hear like, oh man, Japan has arcades. It's crazy. I never saw. Okay, I went to that one arcade in Japan that was just getting ready to close. It's like 7 stories high of like video games. It was pretty cool, but again, I remember the early 90s, dude, as a little kid, dude. And it's cool that arcades exist in Japan, but I was actually not impressed with them as someone that is remembered, arcades back then. So Naru, but you always, Joe Clayton. I was wondering if you could do analysis on some of all the Street Fighter 2 characters and what they mean to the narrative fighting games. Well, I said this for what I was talking about the narrative of Super Turbo is there's no narrative, I don't think, of a game like Street Fighter 2 to Hyper Fighting. Because Super Turbo has a narrative because by the time Super Turbo came out, there's already competition for Street Fighter. There's competition in fighting games. Like you need to catch the eye of like the casual audience, right? So when you see Super Turbo, you could see the old school player because like top tiers in the game, you could see like an old school dude doing Fireball, Dragon Punch, Trap with Sagat. So you understand that mindset of a fighting game right there. And then you could see the new school sort of mindset of Balrog. No fireballs, anything like that. He's rushing you down. You know what I mean? Throw loop supers. So a casual player can look at that and he can see two perspectives on Super Turbo. Like they're both the good guy and they're both the bad guy of the game. So the casual player can look at top tier matchups in this game and be like, I understand what this game is about. I understand what I'm going to be getting into with this game. But for say something like Street Fighter 2 to like hyper fighting, there's no narrative. You could be anal and say there's a narrative about the game, but you don't even need to think that deeply because the narrative of Street Fighter 2 is Street Fighter 2 for all intensive purposes is the first fighting game in society, right? And like from a sort of broad spectrum, right? Of course, there is Street Fighter 1 and other fighting games, but Street Fighter 2, you don't need to think about it so deeply as the narrative of, say, Guile and Dhalsim in Street Fighter 2 are just so powerful, right? You could just be like, Street Fighter 2 is the most important fighting game ever. It's not just one of the most important fighting games ever, it's one of the most important video games ever. That is the narrative of Street Fighter 2. You don't need to think about it any more deeply than that, if that makes sense, right? Jen Exodus, when are me and you going to play some video games? Maybe never. I don't know. KOF 2 or 2 or bust. Sir Mustachio, you were so damn fine, Clayton. Thank you. I'm going to hopefully that's one of my 2% female viewer audience-ship. What do you do for hair care? What conditioner do you use? Hair's getting a bit long in this lockdown. Conditioner, I use like a Neutrogena triple conditioner. And then shampoo, I use a copper shampoo, a moisturizing shampoo, and then like another shampoo. And I just kind of like mix it up. I don't use any like products though or anything like that. Random question: do you have a favorite meal? Chicken is my favorite food, but favorite meal per se, I don't know about my favorite meal. but Japan food was amazing. JR617, Guilty Gear Strive seems to offer no combo creativity. Yeah, we're going to see how that's going to go, man. Lorenzo Perez, how's Final Fantasy VII? It was all right. I did a little review on it. What is this? D Jones, hey, what's up, dude? Gojira saying, Clayton. Oh fuck, I think I missed it. What is this? Good. Gojira saying, I just started playing Vegito. Thank you so much for making awesome combo videos and to reference. Thank you for watching them. L Rain, how much potential for change do you think there is before the strive? Do you think the possibility will feedback? I generally think that I think the idea of a game is generally set in stone. So, I mean, anything can happen, right? Anything can happen, but there's not a precedent for there to be a drastic change, right? So, how much is going to change? Of course, I would assume things are going to change, but the idea of the game, I would assume, is not going to change drastically, and there's no precedent to ever assume that. That's why I've always said, how was I able? Didn't play Dragon Ball FighterZ. I didn't get into any of the betas. Why was I able to say exactly how the game would work 6 months before it came out? And I kept trying to, I can tell this is in the game, dude. I can tell this is in the game because the game did not drastically change. Remember when Xrd came out? Japan was playing, I remember the beta test of Xrd. I remember Japan was playing it for a year. I'm like, dude, you can do this shit in the game. I can tell. People are like, no, it doesn't work. And then Japan had the game for a year earlier. And they're like, if it worked, the Japanese would have been doing it. And then I put out those combo videos, and those combo videos, what did they do? That was in the B&Bs in the game. You know what I mean? Generally, games do not drastically change. The idea of a game is generally pretty set in stone. Could it change? It could. But would I expect it to drastically change? No, unless they're going to be doing some crazy delay or some bullshit, right? Horacho Uraraka, love your hair. Colungus, hey Clayton. Josh, okay, what would be your favorite fighting game? What would be your favorite game that isn't fighting? I don't know what my favorite game would be besides that. I'm not sure. But like I said, I do like RPGs and all that kind of stuff, right? Grand Blue EX system is pretty much, it puts the special on cooldown, but it doesn't take any special meter like other fighting games. Feels like it's pretty unique. So the EX move is pretty much a special on cooldown. So it's like a better version of the special there goes my mouse. A better version of the special, and then you can't use it again until it cools down. Yeah, that sounds kind of interesting. I'll give it that. That sounds fairly interesting. D Jones, I lost my thing. Nobu Sama. Don't know if you've been asked this, but what's your thoughts on BlazBlue? I don't care about BlazBlue. And Cross Tag Battle? No, that game's a fucking Beat Mania game. It's fucking ridiculous. Will you ever play Devil May Cry? No, I have no intention of playing Devil May Cry. When you do it, where am I at? When you do experiment, yes, that's what I said. He's only. Jeremy Hood, have you ever smoked weed? Yes, I have weed cards, all that kind of stuff, but I don't smoke as much because after I got sick, I used to be a stoner when I was a kid, but after I got sick, I only have so much energy in the day. And so when you're sick, dude, I need all the energy I can get, dude. I need all the energy I can get. If I'm in the hospital, if I get stoned after being in the hospital, like I'm not going to have any will to do anything. You know what I mean? So it just is like, it's very hard to find like a fine level of being stoned and you just laugh and you have fun, and a fine level of just being, I'm tired and I don't want to do anything. And I'm too sick and too tired already to be smoking weed. I need all the energy I can get. What the fuck, chicken up subbed? No, chicken is amazing. Jeremy, Frankie Vernes, you like Gears? Never played Gears of War. Michael Natal, yo, what's up, man? Glad you're safe with everything going on. What's up, dude? Bizarre. Though making about it, I have no idea who he made. Although I guess I used to. 906 GI, super out of left field. Thoughts on Therm's fighter herds? Them's fighting herds? I don't know if that's a meme, but you got me. I don't know what it means. Jeremiah Simmons, any tips for what? Or what are we talking about? What is this? Dymo, remember how hard they backtracked on Xr's questions? I don't really remember Xard's clashing system. What was the Xard clashing system exactly? Planning to get more muscular, or is it to slow down on your illness? Oh, I would always like to get more buff, but I've been pretty much, like I said, I've showed pictures of myself, and I'm pretty. I can't. I feel like I was at my most buff a few years ago. You know what I mean? It's very. I would like to gain like another 5 pounds of muscle to my upper body, but I mean, what am I gonna do, dude? I'm sick. You know, I mean, what the fuck, right? I mean, I would love to get more buff. Maybe if I ever take like TRT or some bullshit, you know, but sure, I'd like to add another 5 pounds of muscle, but what am I supposed to do, dude, right? Exeter, which adjustments do you think Gogeta needs or doesn't? Because he's people. Uh, I think Dragon Ball. I think Dragon Ball Fighter Z should be. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. Are we talking about Are we talking about Gogeta in terms of the grand scheme of how the game is, or what the game should be? Because the game is a complete clusterfuck, right? I mean, so it's kind of like, are we judging Gogeta by the rules of the game, or I mean, because it depends, because the rules of the game are so stupid, basically as it is, right, dude? So I mean, it depends on, are we talking about how we wish the game would be or whatever. Clayton, don't seem to respond to compliments. Is there any reason? I mean, what I mean is, do you not like to be complimented? Depends what you mean. What kind of compliments? Are we talking about like what specific compliments or something like that? Yeah, and I always have my ab wheel there. Bizarre. XR old clash system was a weak attack clash with a powerful attack. The dude with the weak attack got staggered and they turned that into blitz. I don't even remember that. Wow. I don't even fucking remember, dude. Like I said, people don't realize I actually don't own a PS3. So even when I made those XR videos, I had to like borrow it. So I don't even remember that, to be honest with you, dude. I don't even remember that. That sounds fucked up. I seriously, I actually don't remember that even. I'm sorry. That's just me. You know, I only didn't play the game very much, just made those combo videos, I guess. Um yeah, I don't remember. Don't know. Lodge Pal Ali. Do you have a favorite anime? No, I don't think I have a favorite anime. Do you got a favorite anime? I said that. Do you no, I don't believe in God. Damn about. Yeah, I don't remember. Um like I said, I didn't play XR a lot. I made those combo videos right when it came out. And I mean, you could say this. I don't even know if I've ever played even 100 matches ever in XR. I don't even know if I've ever even played 100 matches ever, dude. I mean, it's not it wasn't, I don't think it's a super interesting game to me. It was a one step forward, one step back, and I was just like, I just don't really care, you know. So I don't even know if I've ever even played 100 matches in the game. I really don't know. Oh, so it was a trailer thing and it wasn't in the final version of the game? Oh, well, then maybe. I find you interesting enough to analyze your behavior, a bit of an enigma because you're humble enough to admit your faults, but at the same time, you like to people know that you're great. Well, it depends what we're talking about. Yeah, video game wise, I am extremely confident, raw skill wise, and creatively speaking, I am very confident video game wise. But like I said, when people bring up Desk to me, I'm sure Desk has better. I'm not sure. I know Desk has better execution than me, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about doing a combo with one hand. I mean, that's awesome that he does it. More props to him. He's doing very well for himself with all his subs. That's sweet, dude. But I'm not like jealous if I die. Never being able to do a combo with one hand doesn't really bother me. So what type of music do you listen to? Do you have a number one band? I like a lot of instrumental music, right? What makes a good fighting game to you? Just fundamentals. I just think that all games should respect the fundamentals of what made fighting games popular in the first place, right? Um, Fighting games should respect the fundamentals of what made fighting games popular in the first place. The core values, I guess, like Dead or Alive. We want to have boobs. We want to have ninjas. We want to have, you know, throwing each other off the wall. Like that Dead or Alive 6 came out. And man, why was Dead or Alive 6? You couldn't even throw people. You couldn't do Ryu's spinning pile driver Izuna throw off the thing. I'm like, what is this? I can't fucking throw the dude off the cliff anymore. Like, I'm actually someone, I know a lot of people hate Dead or Alive. I don't think Dead or Alive is a fucking terrible game. I've had fun when I played Dead or Alive. I understand the idea of Dead or Alive. I didn't hate Dead or Alive, right? You know what I mean? So, but anyway, but core, I was making a stupid core value joke about that, whatever they said at Evo, that one fucking year is retarded. But yeah, no, you should be respecting the core values and fundamental ideas of what made fighting games popular in the first place. And I think that lost my train of thought. And then you should be trying to kind of go off that. That's why I think Guilty Gear. I think Guilty Gear is a very important game because Guilty Gear was what was it? Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear kind of, it kind of respects a lot of like fundamental concepts in Street Fighter games, but it's sort of like a evolution of it from a standpoint. And unfortunately, Guilty Gear became kind of like an anime game in a negative kind of way. But I think Guilty Gear is a important game in the history of fighting games, actually. Does Karnov influence the game with the position of the player on the right or the left? Um, it depends on who you are. And the first player in Karnov can do cross ups that the second player can't do. The first player side can do cross ups that the other dude can't do. And is a lot of corner cross ups and specifically even some mid screen like wacky cross ups. And then player two, they have like one more frame of stun on their moves. So I guess it depends. They both have their good and their bad things. You know what I mean? So they both have their own thing to them in Karnovs actually. A collab with Desk would be interesting. Like I said, I don't know Desk. People ask me about Desk sometimes. I've said my opinion on him. I assume he's doing pretty well for himself. I'm jealous of the views he gets. So, but execution wise, I think he does deserve props for his execution. I agree for that for sure. I might be ignorant because I only play Dragon Ball FighterZ and nothing else, but it feels like it's a really popular game despite its flaws. I think Dragon Ball FighterZ is popular because it's a Dragon Ball Z game. I think that. Check out my 6 Super Dash fundamentals, bro. What game really broadened your perspective on labbing and how? I think probably Guilty Gear. Get a little bit of I think it's important to play lots of games and, get a little bit, if you want to like play lots of games so you can get a grasp of how games work. And then when you find a game that you like, you can come into that game with a perspective that you had from another game and then try to apply it in that game you like. But yeah, no, Guilty Gear. Yeah, Guilty Gear definitely. Because Guilty Gear on some level, definitely on a certain level, I'm not saying it's necessarily more complicated than Street Fighter, but on a certain level, Guilty Gear does have a lot of quirks and there is a lot of goodwill. I think Guilty Gear is a serendipitous game. Like a lot of stuff I don't think was intentionally planned to work as well as it did. And it has a lot of glitches that make the game more interesting. But I do think there is a lot of thought in Guilty Gear and, it has a lot of interesting ideas, I think. Since you are streaming things, not that you have to, do you plan on playing anything for fun? I don't really plan on playing anything for fun. God, I don't know. I guess when the new Goku comes out, hopefully he's fun. So that's like a week and a half. I'll probably play video games again. But besides that, I'm not sure. Is anything video game wise coming out? I'm not sure. Is there anything I don't know if anything video game wise is planned to come out this year. I guess Strive, I guess, right? But I mean, I'm not really sure. I wish I didn't learn funny games off of games like Ultimate Wars kind of thing. Devastating. It smells like up dog in here. Up dog in here. I don't know what that means. That meme is lost on me. Mr. Pomegranate. Like I said, I say that name like pomegranate, dude. Yo, I made it. Josh Gray, despite the challenges you face, you're persistent and amazing. You're a true fighter. Thanks, dude. And Gemma, you could do dating games again. Yeah, I've if I could get my PS2 to work better, I would. I did play Amagami before. No, what was I playing? I think I tried to play some dating game on stream, but translating it in Japanese and into English, my Japanese is not that fast to translate while talking to you guys. So just, I don't know if I'd really be able to do that right. I don't play Tekken, no. What's the first thing you'll do after quarantine? Probably go for a walk. Probably go out, go to the mall, go for a walk. Stretch, dude. Walk around, be by people. You know, that kind of thing, dude. Thoughts on Final Fantasy VII Remake? It was all right. Mocha's Pants, what's up, dude? 906GI, I thought question for the day. Thoughts on Smash? I think Smash Brothers is fine. What's up, dog? Einfield, Larry Scott, what's up? Thoughts on Unus? Is that the Under Night and Birth? Yeah, I think Under Night and Birth. If I still played video games, I'd probably would have played it. Tried it out at least, right? Will you stream Ultra Instinct Goku when he comes out? Probably. I don't know if I'll stream, but I'll probably do combo videos for him, right? How'd you get into the whole Japan and Japanese stuff? Just a nerd, right? Goku labbing stream would be fun. Name the site clickbitty and chop up the videos behind the scenes, maybe. Never played Skullgirls. The only thing I have to say about Skullgirls, though, is I remember when Mike Z was making it, he asked me if I wanted to help him test the game, but I just wasn't really interested in it. But, you know. How much? Hey, dude, I appreciate the super chat, dude. Hey, you know what, motherfucker? I got to tell you, dude. People donated to when I did this live thing. People don't understand how little I make from YouTube. I showed, dude, millions of views with nothing, dude. So that live stream yesterday that I did, that made me more money than probably 20 videos in a row on YouTube, right? Because my videos constantly get flagged, all that kind of shit, dude. So, I mean, hey, dude, I fucking appreciate it, dude. How much for an arm wrestling match? I mean, I'm not that. I got pretty big forearms because I've jacked off a lot as a kid. I don't know if that looks big. How do I make my forearm look big? All right, wait, kind of like push. Does that look? I don't know. Does my forearm? Do you see that? Like, I don't know. I jacked off a lot, so I'm not sure about that. But what's your thought on Goichi's defense? My thought on that is it. I think it's kind of sad. Like, I think from a certain perspective, how about this? Any publicity for a game, potentially. Maybe I shouldn't say any publicity, but I guess from a certain perspective, maybe it's good for the game or good for him. Maybe from a selfish perspective, maybe it's good for him that it gives him a little bit of limelight, his defense. But I also think it's sad when you talk about a game and people say one of the most impressive skills is a dude's ability to block. I'm not saying it's not a skill. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure the motherfucker can outblock me way better than me, right? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's not a skill. But when one of the highlights of a game is how well you block, I just think that's I think that's kind of telling, right? These motherfuckers would destroy me. But I think it's kind of telling when that's something like, man, he blocked that. He blocks all that. I mean, I think it shows some of the problems with the game. Anyway, can I keep up the good work? I'm rewatching years ago and you inspired. Thanks, dude. Midnight Movie Lover. What do you think about The Last of Us 2? Is that the one people are saying that like a transvestite now kills somebody in it or something? I played an Uncharted game, but I never played The Last of Us. How old am I? I am a young daddy. Did you ever look into the Quora thing? Yeah, I remember someone posting that. Was that you? You posted that? And I remember like you get money for answering questions, and it's like one of those things. Like I opened up the window, and then I always have like 200 windows open in Firefox and Google Chrome, because if I'm just bored, I'm just like I'm looking at 4chan. I'm like, that's a big butt. That's a big boob. And that girl's a hot face. She has big lips. That's a cool picture. Look at that. And but sometimes I'll just get like 300 like windows open, and I'll tell myself that I'll go look at it later. And so I opened it, and I'm like, I gotta read. And it's like I don't get it, but I mean, it's in the back of my mind, but someone's got to like really throw it in my face and like knock me unconscious with it. In your experience, what tips would you give for someone playing Guilty Gear? Boy, I'm not sure. That's what Guilty Gear. I mean, what my tip for video games is? Find a perspective that makes you like the game, that keeps you playing the game. That's my tip for you in any video game. Find a perspective that's going to keep you playing the game, dude. You know what I mean? Find a perspective that's going to keep you playing the game. I feel like. Other than that, you're going to have to be way more specific, I think. Oh, man, I don't even know how to say your name, dude. What is this? Yogulanic? YouTube streamers usually get good super chats more than PayPal donate. Hey, dude, like I said, people don't get how much I showed, dude. Like I said, I keep telling people think that it's so ridiculous. People think I lie about things. And I'm like, dude, this is what I make off YouTube. You think I'm going to like keep a lie going for 20 years and I don't make anything? You know what I mean? That's why I was like, damn, people actually donated. That's fucking sweet. That's more than I make off YouTube. So fuck it, dude. Fuck me. That was awesome. Super chats are cool, but you need a certain amount of subscribe. No, I have super chat on. Super chat should be on. So if you wanna give me a buck, you can do that. I happily don't, but I never done it through YouTube. Also, it seems to be money, but I'm from the UK. I have no idea, dude. I actually have no idea how it actually works myself. The people that even donated yesterday, I haven't even got it. I don't know how it works. I assume in a month time I'm going to see if I get it, but I don't actually know. Oh, Midnight Movie Lover, keep up the good work. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Your $5 will be well spent. Don't worry. Thank you. I appreciate it. Matthew Strobel, Jesus, LOL. What was that towards? I'm not sure. All right. KR Bazaar. What's up, dude? Josh, okay. I said that. For a McDouble, dude. Hey, didn't you donate last time? You don't have to donate. Well, you can donate twice, but I appreciate it, Dreamcast King making. Let me see. What is this? What are your opinions? Well, oh yeah, wait. Oh shit. Sorry, I missed some shit. Sorry. Oh fuck. COVID made it harder to get girls. Well, yeah, man. If you can't go out, right? I've seen people donate to American streamers with Danish money and transfer. Don't be put in a situation where you need to be blocking a lot of shit. What part are we talking? Oh, we're talking about Guilty Gear. I'm like back on this. What's the best set to get a good mindset? Dude, I said this before, dude. You know what the best mindset to get good at a fighting game? You find a game you like and you find a perspective that keeps you going. The most important thing in life, period, is your fucking perspective, dude. Because if you can't find a perspective to keep going at whatever endeavor you are trying to accomplish, it's not going to work for you. That's why how do you work out when you're in the hospital all the time? Well, you know what, dude? I didn't want to die a sicking. That's not even it. I didn't want to die a sick person, dude. When I had that C. diff and my doctors put me in the hospital and like, you could die and everything like that. And they, you actually get papers and they're like, do you want to write a will? You know what I mean? I was just like, dude, I've wasted my whole life, dude. And I was just like, what a waste of time, dude. Praying to God to like save me. I lost all my hair before, not all my hair, but you do radiation and a bunch of it falls out, right? I never actually went completely bald from that, but I've showed pictures of it, but man, my hair was boom. You know what I mean? But I lost my train of thought. You know what I mean? I went through all that. I've had all these really bad health periods. And then, then I was in hospital with C. diff, and man, was I sick, dude. And I met other people who had C. diff, and I know a girl who she had it a few times, and she lost her stomach, and she has like a poop bag from it. So I never got that bad, thankfully. But it took me a year before I could even work out again after I had it. And after that, I was just like, dude, you know what? If I'm gonna die, my perspective needs to be to keep myself going, because I don't want to die a sick person, right? So just like that's an extreme example, but for a video game, a lot of times you play a video game and it's like, hey, dude, maybe my friend is playing this. I want to play with my friend. That is my perspective. I want to be able to play my friend, and I want it to be fun. If he's just butt raping me, it's not going to be fun. Or maybe your perspective is, I saw Clayton, I guess. Let's jack myself off here for a second. I saw Clayton did this combo video. I want to do that combo in a match. So whatever it might be, you need to find a perspective that keeps you going. That is the most important thing to be coming at a video game. Now, where that perspective is coming from, a negative place, a positive place, is up to you, but it needs to be a perspective that keeps you going, right? Fuck TLO2. I don't know what that is. Ask literally dumb questions on how do you get the partner invite. I literally made like $20 asking if a cat will hurt. Wait, what? Ask any literal dumb question. So this Kawara thing. So if I ask if I can use a cat as a pillow and you made $20 asking that, is that what you're saying? I think everyone should do that on stream now. I don't know if you're like joshing me or something right now, but tell me, what is this? $9.99. Snuggling. That's a good name, Snuggling. May the bridges you burn light your own path. Keep up the good work and speak the truth. Thank you. I appreciate it, Snuggling. Snuggling. That's a nice name. We had this Endgate recently, and I don't know if this is going to make me seem racist, like I'm doing a play on words, but when I was younger, I used to call people snuggas. Now, I don't know if you know what a snugga is, but a snugga is a hardcore dude who likes to snuggle. That's what a snugga is, right? So sometimes we used to call people snuggas because we're like that dude's hard, but I can tell he's got a good heart. He's a snugga. I'm probably one of the only people that says that, but I'm an idiot. I call things like cyber pussy. So if you guys know I talk like a retard, I talk like a retard in real life too. So don't worry. Wicked Barley 95. What are your opinions on 4chan? My opinion on 4chan is I'm a nerd. So of course I think 4chan is cool. I think Reddit is cool. I think 4chan is cool. But what people don't understand, when people say like, oh, Clayton, he's not nice to people sometimes. Again, this has nothing to do with 4chan. I don't have anything against 4chan. I don't have anything against Reddit. If you're a dick to me, I'm a dick to you. If you're cool to me, I'm cool to you. It's very simple. So I have like nothing against 4chan. I've posted on 4chan before a number of times, right? I generally don't post unless someone posts me though, because I know people already want to think that I like show myself or some bullshit. So I don't want to give anyone an excuse to think that I'm doing that. But if someone mentions me, I'll post if I see it, of course. But again, I have nothing against the idea of 4chan or Reddit. I'm a nerd, you know what I mean? But if I see someone as a dick to me, if someone's a dick to me, I'm not nice to you. And if you're cool to me, I'm cool to you. It's very, very simple, right? I mean, Mariko Advi, yo, Zero. What kind of music do you listen to? Favorite bands? I like a lot of instrumental music. So the only question that matters, tits or ass. I think that a butt is more important than boobs, because nothing worse than like an old man butt on a girl, right? Because at least if a girl can have small boobies but like a big butt, and it's still good. But if a girl has big boobies and the flat butt, it's kind of like, man, like sometimes like there's like different levels, right? Like, there's kind of like there's like there's like an old man butt. Old man butt is the worst. And then there's like a flat butt. And then there's a level of just having a butt. And then you get to like big butt and Instagram butt. Like I would like to have, again, I would like to, if I wasn't sick, who knows, maybe I could build more muscle, but I would like to have a big butt, right? Because I think it'd like look good aesthetically, right? But unfortunately, I'm just at, my butt exists. So I'm just trying to make sure that I have a butt that exists, because if it gets any worse, it's like no butt, and then it's like old man butt, right? But when girls have big boobs, but no butt, like an old man butt, I don't know. I'd rather have a big butt and small boobs personally. Don't have any opinion on man. Oops. Oh fuck. I lost where we were. Thanks, Duck Scarfy. That was wait. I thought Dymo said. Oh, you did right. Duck Clayton. What's up, dude? No. Naruoxus. Nice Abel in the background. Thanks, dude. Nightish one. Yeah, I started getting annoyed at playing on MS because now I just played lab combos. Alpha. Any any currency. Pikachu is bad Pokemon. I hate the yellow rat. Pikachu is amazing. The forearm thing. What about the forearm thing? What's up, man? I'm on break. What's up, Retro Cheek? Hey, Fridge, could you use doubloons to donate? I don't know what that is. What is your most forbidden nut technique? I mean, unless you want me to tell you the Giganut story again to make you guys laugh, I could tell you the Giganut story again. Do you guys want to hear the Giganut story again? I could tell that. But the Ninja of Death 879, Clayton, will you make videos about RPGs? I've done a couple videos on RPGs, actually. Mike Benz, watch hentai and you will be good in fighting games. Josh, okay, makes me sad to hear about the illness you guys. Wish you luck. Thanks, dude. Stormbringer, Clayton dropping some good wisdom. Matthew's trouble. I'm there with a chronic health issue, seeing a dozens person, and it's fucked that people say you didn't experience. No, it is fucked, and it's fucked up that people have profited off it. Like that buttmonger guy. I can't believe that fucking dude and all these other dudes make money off of saying that I faked being sick. And I always think it's crazy. Like, who is that stupid priest fuck? These dudes, people say that I fake being sick, and then they put up GoFundMe things. It's like, dude, don't you think it's crazy that people say that I faked being sick when I showed my health record because so many people were saying I was lying? I actually, like, you can see pictures of me for years with my hair fall out, dude. And it's like, which I always think is too, like, think about this. People think Clayton is so full of himself. I'm so full of myself. So do you really think that I would go for 2 years wearing a hat, waiting for my hair to grow back after doing radiation when I'm so full of myself and then say it's a fake illness, right? But whatever, dude, right? But yeah, I always think it's crazy. Like, I never had a GoFundMe up, never asked anyone for money, but I was the person that faked being sick. And you have all these other dudes that then say they're sick. If they are sick, who knows, right? And then they ask for money, right? It's ridiculous, right? Snug is in the chat. Based. You guys like shrimps. Shrimps. Is that like a joke about something? Snuggler is our word. You can use snuggler. They both sound funny. A snuggler and a snuggler. I got the same Brony and David Marks. Get your hair fixed. Pomegranate X. Oh yeah, that's right. It's ugly. I think the true ugly. Okay, so the brony. Okay, dude, all my gains go to my butt. Feels bad, man. Imagine Clayton with a fat ass. Looks like Ken's hair. What do you mean? Da balloons. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Give us the Giganite story. So the Giganite story was, so when I came back from Japan, right? And I'll use this. So the Giganut story was when I came back from Japan, like, here's Pikachu. Imagine Pikachu flying in. He's like, shh. So Pikachu flew in, and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay, dude. I don't have that much jet lag, right? So I'm like, I'm okay, dude. I'm okay, right? And then I'm like, well, I just got back. It's like a fucking 12 or 13-hour flight, and then I had to drive home. And I'm like, okay, let me go take a bath to relax, right? And so I'm in the bath, right? Just relaxing because I take baths. And they're like, well, you know what? I may as well go bust a nut, right? And so I'm like, it was like, oh, shit, dude. And it kept coming, dude. Like, I guess I had been holding it in too long. I was like, oh, fuck. And I started, like, looking around. Like, dude, it was, like, aggressive, dude. Like, it had a mind of its own. Like, I didn't know where it went. I'm like, shit, fuck. And I was like, damn, right? I was like, damn, okay. I wasn't expecting that, you know what I mean? So then I went downstairs after busting this giga nut, right? And I'm like, damn, I didn't know I had that in me, right? And so then anyway, I went downstairs and I just went on the computer and then it like started hitting me. Like my eye closed and I like started twitching and I was like, oh fuck, dude. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, shit, dude. And I was like, man, I was like, ugh. And I passed out for like a day, dude. I was not expecting that, dude. Like, I time traveled from that Giga Nut. Like, the Giga Nut was huge, dude. I was not expecting the nut to be that big, right? I was like, whoa. Like, it was an impressive nut. Like, It's like one of those nuts that, if a girl saw it, she probably had 100% chance of pregnancy. Like even if it wasn't time, like one nut was gonna get there, dude. Like this nut would not be denied, right? So he was a big nut, dude. Like it was impressive. Anyway, let's hear the Gannett. That was the gig Gannett story. Well, dude, I have a heart problem, so I know what it's like. Oh yeah, that fucking chart. Like, what the fuck? That char dude was such a fucking idiot, dude. He's like, yeah, dude, you're mental. You're mentally ill. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? He's like, no one's out to get you, Clayton. While he lets people in his chat continue to talk shit about me and make up lies. He's like, Clayton, no one's lying about you. It's fake. And I'm like, dude, here's the proof. They're lying about me. He's like, you're mentally ill, Clayton, and I know because I have a heart issue. And I'm like, what? I don't give a fuck about your heart issue, motherfucker. Go have a heart attack somewhere else, dude. This motherfucker starts, man, what a fucking idiot, dude. I'm like, dude lets people in the chat start to go talk a shit about me. I prove the people wrong, so then he deletes my post and say that I'm being the one toxic. Like, what a fucking idiot, dude. Jesus Christ. The Ninja of Death 879. You got so much hate. I'm 23 and you've hated nearly as long as I've been live. What keeps you coming back to making videos? Just because I'm a nerd. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, I said this to it's actually funny. I was telling these stories about Kenji yesterday. I remember after I quit video games, I won that last tournament. I remember me and Kenji still talked for a little bit. Like I said, to my knowledge, me and Kenji are not friends anymore, but after I quit tournaments, you know what I mean? Me and Kenji still talk sometimes, and Kenji was still traveling. And Kenji actually told me, he was like, dude, Clayton, he's like, you are the most hated person in the fighting game community, besides Marn. And I was like, damn, dude. And it's so amazing to me that, not saying that Kenji's a good looking guy, Kenji's a charismatic guy, Kenji's good at games, but Kenji's a very two-faced guy. Kenji has been caught scamming people himself. And it's always crazy to me that the community remembers me as a bad guy when I was able to prove that I never did any of the stuff they talked about, and it was all these other people, dude. And I was like, man, dude, what a fucking narrative this community has like spread about me, dude. But anyway, what keeps me back to coming games? Well, I said before, I didn't even know if I was going to play Dragon Ball Fighter Z. But man, I was posting, and Daimo even found some of the quotes for me because I was too lazy to find it, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm posting for 6 months what you guys can do in this game. I don't know if I'm going to get the game. And just no one would do it, dude. So it's like, well, I guess I kind of want to kick things with Vegito. So I guess I'll get the game. I'm a nerd, dude, but one of the reasons I even got Dragon Ball Fighter Z is I was like, you know what? I'll just prove that I'm better than everyone else again, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Whatever, dude. L Rain worked out for 6 months, tried to get bigger, but I only lost more weight, and it killed my motivation. I'm not sure if you were worked out for 6 months and you only lost weight and got skinnier. I'm not sure. That doesn't make sense. So something must be going wrong there. I mean, unless you're doing like cardio, then of course you'd get smaller. But as long as you're lifting something, you should have gotten bigger, dude. Because I don't even lift. I've never lifted 50 pounds, dude. People think that I have a big chest. Like, should we show my chesticle? Do we need to show my chesticle on stream? People think that I'm big. Dude, I've only done push-ups. I don't bench press or anything, dude. You know what I mean? So if you're not getting bigger and you're actually working out, there's something is going on, dude. So I don't know what to tell you about that one. What was the last RPG you played? The Final Fantasy VII, right? Little tits with nice ass. They super dupe. Little tits with nice ass all day. Yeah, big booty, small butt. I'd much rather have the small, the small boobs, big butt. Yeah. Do you have mods now? No, I don't think I have any mods. No, shouldn't. Super duper. So I was in Japan for school, and the jet lag back hit me for like 2 weeks. Yeah, the first time I was in Japan, the jet lag was not too bad. But man, the second time I got back from Japan, the jet lag was really bad for a long time. But that's an asterisk mark because, again, I'm in and out of the hospital a lot. So there could be like health problems. And, I did have my thyroid tested again. And my thyroid is I know I had my thyroid tested after I got back from Japan just the winter, and my thyroid is actually I'm getting closer to needing to up my dose again. So I don't know. Who knows, right? Man nutted so hard he became hit. A fridge. Doubloons was ancient currencies made of metals and gold. That stuff that are worth loads. Pirates used to nick the stuff. I just want. If you ever become a huge streamer, you should make a giganut emote. Hey, sure. The biggest of nuts. Oh, the message retracted. What is this? Oh, is that why someone asked if there's mods? I don't know what that is. Have you made a Discord for fans? No, I haven't made a Discord because people have talked about me making a Discord. But you know what? I see on all these Discords so often, like people will. I feel like it's so many people make up lies about other people and shit like that, dude. And I always get worried that someone would use my Discord to make up lies about people. And so I get worried if I did that kind of thing, you know. Dudley Punch, thanks for checking out my art. No problem, dude. Did I check out your art? I'm not sure. Dudley. Yo, like, why was everyone so pissed you won tournaments? Why were they so well, how about this? You know what? I told this story before. I think people probably realize this. Okay, how about this? Can everyone agree? And I'm not saying I'm not. Am I a potentially standoffish person? I'm a potentially standoffish person. I'm a very blunt person, right? I'm a pretty goofy person, I think, right? Like I don't care about cyber pussy, whatever. I have Pikachu and everything like that, dude, right? But I'm a pretty blunt person. And I can tell you, even as a kid, I was pretty blunt. Like when I first went to that tournament, I told this story before. Okay, we can go back to this, right? That first tournament I went to. Hey, I appreciate your $10, dude. Hey, dude, I told this story before. If I had a big dick, I would jack off on camera. You know what I mean? So I would bust some giganuts for my gay fans and my 2% female of your audienceship, right? So I appreciate it, Barkley. But anyway, so people know I can be a pretty standoffish person, and I'm a very opinionated person, right? I'm a very non-bullshit kind of person. So when I first was in the community, again, I didn't know that I was good at video games, right? And I got second at my very first tournament. And then my second tournament I went to, and this is in the Street Fighter stories, right? I didn't know this. My second tournament I went to a big tournament, right? And what happened was I was beating everybody really bad in casuals before the tournament, right? Really bad. I think eventually Alex Valle, right? Alex Valle, you guys know who he is. He's a very famous player, right? I don't know how big my win streak was, but eventually Alex finally beat me when I was a kid during casuals. And you know what I mean? And I finally got off. And if you guys know, I don't know how well tournaments are run now, but back then tournaments were not run back. And you know, the tournament was delayed hours and hours and hours. Right. And I was like, you know, at first I was like, man, I'm going to do awesome in this tournament. Right. I was like, dude, because I didn't know who was famous and who wasn't. Like, I only recognized Mike Watson at the beginning. Right. You know what I mean? And so when I finally lost, and they're like, yeah, dude, that was Alex who finally beat you. You've been beating everyone else. And I was like, oh, I had no idea. Right. So what happened was the tournament was taking so long. I ended up getting sick that tournament, and I ended up doing really badly, right? So my second tournament, I ended up doing really badly, and I ended up having like a kidney stone or some bullshit like that, which I don't remember ever peeing that out. But let me tell you, I was real fucking sick, dude, right? When I went to the hospital. So I don't remember ever peeing. I don't remember seeing a stone out, but, you know, they did an ultrasound, and I was fucked. I was in a lot of pain, right? But anyway, so what happened was I then heard about the site sharukan.com, right? And so I went to sharukan.com, and of course I was like, well, let me see about these couple tournaments I went to. And so I saw the first tournament, and they're like, oh, who is that blonde-haired kid? He's really awesome, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, sweet, people like me, right? And then my second tournament ever, dude, I looked at this thing, and people were like, man, that surfer boy kid, he thought he was so good. He was beating everyone in casual. And then I saw him later, and he was crying in the corner like a little baby when he lost. And I was like, holy fuck. And I'm like, are you telling me these grown ass fucking men were just making fun of me when I was crying in the corner because I had a fucking kidney stone as a little kid? And I saw it instantly. My attitude changed toward the fighting game community. All these dudes who were so nice to me that very first tournament I went to, where I destroyed everybody besides the guy who was considered the second best in the Midwest at the time. And then, they were like, oh, you're good. You should enter tournaments. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm good, right? I was a kid. And then I went to this big tournament and I'm beating everybody. And finally, Alex Valle finally beating me in casual, right? You know what I mean? And then I saw they're like, oh, yeah, he's beating everyone casual. He thought he was so cool. And then he finally lost and he started crying like a little baby. And I was like, dude, I was fucking sick. And I was like, holy shit, dude. And that's instantly when I had a chip on my shoulder, right? So instantly I got a very big chip on my shoulder. So, I was even as a kid, dude, I was very, you know what I mean? I'm a very, no bullshit. I don't care about sucking up to being I don't care how fucking famous you are. I was like, you know what, dude? I'm not sucking up to any of these motherfuckers. I don't care if I can't even fucking drive. These people fucking suck. And I'm better than them. And that's basically, yeah. So I've always had a chip on my shoulder, right? So I don't know if I guess, you know what I mean? What do you want me to tell you, dude? Daz Nazgamat. Clayson, you seem showing your stream video, but you come off as your post, you come as slightly more standoffish than you just been talking. And if anyone else agrees, I've said this before. Well, I've already said that. If you devote part of your life to talking shit about me, and again, I don't know if you can clip it on YouTube. Doesn't matter to me. It's me saying it. If you have devoted part of your life to talking shit about me, saying that I faked being sick, all this kind of shit, dude, of course I don't fucking care if you died. I don't care if you get fucking cancer. I don't care about any of that fucking shit. I don't spend my time going around on the internet talking shit about people, but you're going to talk shit about someone who has, and I've showed what I make off YouTube, someone who has done millions and millions of views for free. I wasn't in it for the money. I showed this thing about the cyber pussy thing. For 3 years, I told people about the cyber pussy. I'm like, hey, guys, do it in a video. People wouldn't do it. Do you think I'm not trying to help you guys? I'm like, I don't need to do a video of it. Here it is. Please do it, dude. I'm trying to help you, right? People wouldn't do it. And then so I call it cyber pussying. Oh, Clayton's so full of himself, calling it the cyber pussy. Of course I am. I fucking tried to help you guys for 3 years. How many? And it's actually been going on for 20 years. So again, I know, dude, if you say that I faked being sick, if you make up lies about me, I don't fucking care. That's why when people, dude, you can take any quote of me, if it's actually me, you can take any quote of me on Reddit, Twitter, where the fuck it is, post it. I don't give a fuck. Just post the full context. You know what I mean? I'm not making any excuses. Just post the full context. I'll say it again. I don't give a fuck if you died. You said I faked being sick. You made up lies about me. Do you want me to be Jesus? I feel so bad for you that you got sick. No, I don't fucking care. Well, I'm a grown-ass man. Oh, man, geez, you keep saying that I faked being sick in the hospital. Please be my friend. Please be my friend. What? I don't fucking care, right? I mean, give me a break, dude. Anyway. So where are we at? I know I'm kind of like going back here. The Ninja of Death 879. Was Imagine Obama pissed at you for some of the stuff you said on stream when you went to Fighting Tuesday? No. Okay, so what happened between me and Imagine Obama, and I could post the quote. I posted the conversation before. So I was going to Japan again. Now, first of all, let me just say this. He shouted me out many times. He shouted me out at Evo. He said Clayton Chapman. He said Final Showdown. He shouted me out many times. I was appreciative. I said, thank you. They invited me to the Fighting Tuesday interview. I said, thank you. That's cool. I tried to make it funny for people. I talked about jacking off. I'm trying to make it, I try not to take myself too seriously. I tried to make it funny for people, right? But then I was going to Japan again. And he made some weird comment like, I can come to Fighting Tuesday if I agree to play, and I won't use it as promotion for myself or something like that. I'd have to find the exact. I could actually probably find the exact quote because someone asked me about it. Let me go find the exact quote for it, and I will read, and I can read it actually. Let me go look up. Just I don't want to quote him wrong. Exactly, because someone did ask me about it actually not too long ago. Oh, that's another conversation. Man, so many people talk shit about me. I can't keep it up, dude. How long ago? Okay, maybe this guy did. Okay. He can come when he wants to come and play and not use Fighting Tuesday as a platform. LOL. That was a quote right there. And so he said that, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck does that mean? Use it as a platform? Like if I agree to play and I don't use it as a platform, like that's kind of fucking offhand and weird. Like that's kind of like it sounds kind of rude, right? And I was like, what is that about? And I messaged him and I'm like, hey, I'm going back to Japan. And I'm like, if you guys want to do another interview or if you guys want to go get something to eat, we can all go get something to eat and hang out. And he kind of just was, giving me the cold shoulder, whatever. It was a couple weeks later, and it's like, hey, I'm going to be in Japan in a couple weeks, right? If you guys want to get something to eat, all of us, or you want to do an interview, whatever, dude, let me know, right? And he's just like, yeah, if you agree to come and play, you can come. And I'm like, dude, I don't play the game, dude. I just do combos for it. I'm asking if you guys want to do an interview or we can all go get something to eat. I'm just trying to be friendly, right? And so then I messaged him again when I was in Japan. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm here. Do you guys want to get something to eat or do whatever, right? And he's like, if you agree to come and play, you can come. And I was just like, what is this? And I'm like, dude, I told you I only do combos in Dragon Ball FighterZ. I don't play it, dude. If I agree to play, I can come. And I was like, dude, I'm asking if you guys want to do an interview. We don't have to do an interview. We could even just go get something to eat. We're both in Japan. We could just talk about video games. And he was just, and I'm like, what is this? And so, and then he was like, my reply to him isn't genuine. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I guess we're not friends. I appreciate you shouting me out, but it's kaput. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I'm a very blunt person. It's done. I guess we're not friends. Cool beans. Thanks for shouting me out before. We never need to talk again. That was it. I don't know why he was saying that. It was very fucking weird, but that was that story. I don't know if he misunderstood something, if someone told him I said something I didn't. I don't know, but it's over. Done, right? I mean, what do you want me to tell you, right? What is your favorite type of pizza? Good question. I'm not. Oh, I like Giordano's from Chicago. Giordano's Chicago pizza. I like that a lot, actually. Deadly Punch 101. I think you're one of those guys that understands things very well whenever it's games or anything. I checked out your drawings on IG and you seem to have a good understanding of it. Oh, thanks, dude. I kind of just scribble, but yeah. Like I said, I am a bit of a nerd. I wanted to have my own manga and anime, actually, all that kind of stuff. But the Ninja of Death 879. If you were loved in the FGC, do you think you would have stayed around airing tournaments? It depends because of health. Because even now, no, I wouldn't be able to do it because of health, probably because tournaments are all day long, and I'm sick still a lot, so you know what I mean. Just it wouldn't really happen probably, but I probably would be cooler with the fighting game community, and I wouldn't be as standoffish. But would I still be entering tournaments? No, probably not, because tournaments are just too big now, and it just is. It's like a waste of time, right? You know what I mean? It's just with my health and everything like that. It's not very likely, right? What is your opinion on furries? I don't know. They're furries, I guess. I don't know. Don't really think about it, I guess. Wicked Berkeley. I still love the names for your combos. The FGC more silly stuff like that. Thanks, too. Peace would be nice to. Oh, I love. Peace would be nice to bullying. Dymo. Time to splice this video go to make Clayton say some gnarly shit. I saw you make a video about fragrances. What's the lore behind your in-depth knowledge of fragrances? When I was a kid, or not a kid even, when I became quotation marks cool, maybe girls used to tell me that they were afraid to talk to me that I looked too intimidating to talk to. And so I was like, well, fuck, dude, I'm shy. I'm a nerd. How do I talk to girls? And I was like, oh, well, I guess girls like fragrances and things that smell. So then I was like, maybe I'll get into fragrances, right? And that's how I got into fragrances, actually, that kind of thing, right? We started pushing merch. Deadly Punch. I think I know why you don't want to play Pete. If they win, they will try to rub it in your face. Well, the thing is, when I played online, I told this before. Of course, they would. Everyone wants me to lose now. Oh God, can you imagine how much people want me to lose now? But even when I was playing, because after I quit games, I told you guys before. I mean, I've showed me. I don't know why people say show matches of you playing, dude. There's actually a ton of matches of me playing video games online. When I first got a new computer so many years ago, and I finally got like GGPO and was it Fightcade or Supercade, whatever the fuck it was called, dude. The Japanese used to take me all the time. I was destroying people in video games, dude. You know what I mean? But of course, yeah, dude. I mean, people were trying to say I was cheating for that kind of shit, right? I mean, man, so I mean, but people, of course, yeah, people definitely want to fucking see me lose for sure. And at the same time, though, I'm not good at Dragon Ball Fighter Z, so there's nothing really to show though for a game like that. I'm not good at it. I don't think. I don't think you would. There's nothing to gain by beating me, really. I mean, because I don't play it, so I don't know why you would use it to jack yourself off, right? Because I've never claimed to be good at Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I don't play it. Hey, Fridge, do you care that people claim your Dragon Ball? I mean, do I care that for Dragon Ball Fighter Z? I've said it for all games. Obviously, I don't know how many times people post this meme. Clayton says, "Don't use his combos." Completely false. If that was true, why do I continually tell people what to do? Just like the cyber pussy. Why did I tell people for 3 years the cyber pussy link worked? For 20 years, I've told people how games work without ever playing them. I told people, do it. I don't care. Just don't talk shit about me and then say you found it. That's what bothers me. There's no Clayton claims you can't do this. Never said that. I want you to do it. I just said, don't talk shit about me and then say you found it. That's the kind of shit that is fucked up to me. Like those Teen Gohan Discord guys, the dudes saying all the shit I said doesn't work, and then they post it as their own once they can do it. Like that shit is fucking ridiculous. Those dudes are losers, right? Hey Clayton Manton, love your content. What's the next after Nutsack Cyber Pussy? I guess the Goku Blue thing or the Goku Instinct thing. I've actually never been to New York. I need to try New York pizza. I have friends there, and I just have never actually visited them. Are you into fashion? Any favorite fashion? Ooh, geez, I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm not in depth about fashion, I guess. Anthony Gonzalez. Hello, my liege. Liege or liege? I forgot I said that. What's up, dude? The Ninja of Death, 879. Last movie you watched. God, was it the Sonic movie? That Sonic movie that came out? Was that before the virus? Or what other movies came out after Sonic? Did some other movies come out? I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure. Comey, do you watch anime and have a favorite? I rarely watch anime, but I am a nerd. But I just don't have a lot of time for it, really. But yeah, I like anime, of course. Deadly Punch. How many pull-ups can you do? I've said this before. I've never lifted, actually, even. Yeah, I'm sure you can't see the scars on my hand, but I've never even lifted 50 pounds. So I don't know how many pull-ups I can do, but I can tell you it's not the muscles that stop me from doing pull-ups and chin-ups. It's my hands because I can only use my hands for so long, right? So I'm not exactly sure how many pull-ups or chin-ups I can use, but it's not my muscles giving out on me. It's my hands because I've had surgery. You know what I mean? So, where would you love to visit over abroad? I mean, lots of places, right? If I go to New York, I should try Pizza Supreme. Taito. So, do you think that people don't take your combo suggestions serious because you don't play the game competitively? I mean, what's not to take seriously? I mean, because look at this. How much? I mean, well, dude, what the fuck? If you look at Dragon Ball Fighter Z, How much stuff do you see in Dragon Ball Fighter Z that never existed before I did it? Like almost the entire foundation of the game came from me. Like that's not even me like jacking myself off. That's just like pure fact. You can look at it. What the fuck was Nakali and all these guys doing for 6 months when they were playing the game? They did shit. You know what I mean? I mean, these dudes weren't doing anything. Why every time I put something else out, will someone talk shit about it and then it becomes something that was used in the game? So it's just like people being haters, really. I mean, Barkley, what's your favorite Dragon Ball arc? Favorite Dragon Ball Fighter Z arc. I think, well, Vegito is my favorite character, but time out, dude. I'm starting to sweat, dude. I'm gonna show you guys my gains. I'm starting to sweat, dude. It's getting hot. Let me open the window, actually. Fuck. It's getting like hot in here, dude. It's getting hot in here. Gotta take off all my clothes. Ugh, fuck. Um, where are we at? Oh, that's a big crack. Fuck, dude. What am I thinking about? What were we talking about? I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Oh, I think the Frieza arc is maybe the best well done, maybe. But Vegito, the idea of Vegito is my favorite character, right? Dongzi Modest. Why would people claim you don't want people to use your combos when you post? Because people want people to think that I'm crazy, dude. How about this? You know what? This is the thing, dude. People want people to think I'm crazy because if you think about it, I do say the claims I make sound crazy, right? The claims that I was winning these tournaments while I was sick maybe sound crazy. The claims that I've told exactly how games will work 20 years now without ever playing them. That sounds crazy if you take that at face value. So it's maybe easy to say that it's crazy, but if you look at it, it's fucking true. There's proof of it all, dude, right? So people say it because they're fucking insecure. And they're fucking insecure, right? I mean, why else, right? Naruto's fine. Brody Swaggins, like if you want to stretch my little asshole. What? I'm not sure what that means. Snuggling, if you ever stop by the Cleveland Clinic, speaking, I don't know if I'll ever go back to Cleveland Clinic. I wasn't super impressed when I was at Cleveland Clinic. But you know what I do got to say? Are you around that area? Do they still have the melt? I remember when I was at Cleveland Clinic for that week, we stopped by that restaurant. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this. There's this restaurant called The Melt, and The Melt is basically whatever you order, you have to get cheese on, right? And it's been on those shows like Man vs. Food, all those kind of things, right, dude? It is so good, dude. I think one time I got like a chicken sandwich, and you can get any kind of cheese on it, right? So it could be some kind of weird fucking cheese, whatever. It could be a simple cheese, right? So for the cheese that I picked to have on my chicken sandwich, I picked like mozzarella sticks. It's like super, super fun for a novelty restaurant. And the price is not outrageous. Really cool. I don't know. Do they still have the melt in Cleveland? But man, that's a really fun restaurant to go to if you guys have ever been there, right? Fabian Jervis, would you use animation for your video intros on YouTube? Would I? I guess I could, but I'm not really sure the point, right? I mean, I guess I could. I feel like I would like Dymo has been helping me out. Dymo helped me make a couple of those thumbnails. So I guess I should probably do some better thumbnails, but having an intro and an outro for a combo video, I don't think it's really needed personally. I had carpal tunnel surgery on my hands, that kind of thing. I have like nerve damage, all that kind of shit in my hands actually. So how did you manage to survive all the illnesses you had? Perspective. I talked about that. The most important thing in your life is your perspective. You got to find a perspective to keep you going. So because I didn't have a good life growing up, I told myself there's nothing left for me, right? So I got to be the best Clayton Chapman I can be, right? Basically. I had reconstructive flexor tendon. 3 beer bottles exploded in my hands. Ugh. That does not sound like a good situation. Favorite DBZ arc, like I said, I'm not sure. Maybe the Frieza. I think the Frieza thing is generally there's a lot of cool moments in the Frieza arc, I guess. But Vegito, of course, is my favorite character. Do you like Jazz? Yeah. Oh yeah. See, the melt is near me. Yeah. See, the melt is amazing, dude. I wish that was in other places, dude. Yoglan, do you think people using different controllers and button mapping and yes, I think it's bad. It's taking the way of skill of games. I made videos about that before. I know you've posted on my channel a lot, so I'm sure you've seen it. But yes, I think button mapping in general, button mapping went from being, if people are old enough, button mapping went from being like a courtesy to button mapping is now basically a people are using it to legitimately cheat, basically, right? It's becoming they're trying to take the skill out of it, right? It's become so ridiculously. That's why I don't even button map for combo videos, right? I mean, who knows? I'm getting older. Eventually, maybe I'm gonna have to fucking button map at this rate, but you know what I mean? That's why I'm pretty proud of all the combo videos I've done because you see people, they talk, they button map, all that kind of shit. Never button map for my combo videos, nothing like that. Tournaments, definitely, all that kind of shit, right? Can I draw fan art of your muscles? Yeah, sure. What's your favorite type of food? I said chicken. How'd you get so good at speaking? I can only hold a conversation for 2 minutes. Am I good at speaking? I think a lot of people think that I'm not good at speaking, right? Don't people usually say that I'm bad at speaking? But I can have, how about this? I ramble, but I'm very confident in having an intelligent conversation if I need to, right? Oh, what is this? Makes me wish I might try. How do you feel about the meme of you being Larry, my father? It's fine to me. It doesn't matter. It's all right, man. Dudley Punch 101. Not gonna lie, I was curious about how you literally had so many legendary statuses. Yeah, no, I mean you can look it up, dude. You can look me up saying exactly how Dragon Ball Fighter Z would work. You know what I mean? I mean it's there. I'm sure if you could go look it up, I wish, I wish you could go back and look up stuff like on game combos when I originally said how Guilty Gear would work and all that kind of stuff too. I wish you could find that kind of shit, but game combos isn't around anymore, and the moderators used to edit and delete my posts. So some of that stuff isn't around anymore. But I wish you could find that stuff when Guilty Gear first came out, like that kind of stuff. I wish you could find all those posts seeing like how I was originally showing people how the game worked, all that kind of stuff. But Mystic Core, hey Clayton, I want to ask, do you think that the current FGC hates being creative like characters? Does the FGC hate creative? I don't think the FGC hates creative characters. The FGC hates creative characters if they can't do the creative thing. I think that's what it is. You're like, not just macros. I think some people should use the same stick like on arcade, let alone different brands of hitbox. Oh yeah, I don't agree with hitbox or anything like that. I'm against hitbox, that kind of stuff. Yeah. No, I'm talking about macros like RC buttons, FRC button, like everything's a FRC button, a dash button. Like I said, it went from being a courtesy to a pad player to people are literally doing it to abuse it to make the game easier and take away execution out of games. It's just really fucking sad. No, Game Combos is a site that it is very, very old. It was only around for like a few years. Very, very old. Site doesn't even exist anymore, right? You can't, I don't even think it can you even look up gamecombos.com? Let me see. Probably just says the site doesn't exist. Like I said, I would like to find if I could ever get that one guy on stream. I talked about, I think his name was Redbeard. Redbeard, he was a dude that used to show me on Dustloop how the moderators were trying to get me banned and what they were doing to delete my post because he was a moderator, so he showed me. Ugh, yeah, gamecombos.com doesn't even exist anymore. What is this? Can I even search it on Google to see if I can find an old thing? Yeah, it just says, "Do you want to buy the domain?" It's like doesn't even exist anymore. When did GameCombos.com? Does it even say when it crashed? Oh yeah, Game Combos expired in 2005. There you go. That's what it says. It's very old. Would you do collaboration videos like doing a theory fighting game with someone to discuss with? Theory fighting game, like discussing like making a new fighting game, something like that. Is that what you're talking about, or just games in general? Nice tits, dude. Thanks, bro. What do you think of using D-pads? Some people think they have an unadvantage. I don't. I'm not of the opinion that a D-pad has an advantage over the arcade stick per se. I think hitbox is cheating. Yes. Alpha, couldn't you say from a certain perspective, button mapping is sort of form of optimization? I think it's cheating now. Button mapping is taking the skill out of games. Execution is a part of games. Way back machine to see. I don't know what that means. No, like I said, I don't like hitbox or cross up. I don't agree with those things. Like I think pad and maybe hitbox, whatever, is fine as long as they both use it competitively. It just seems crazy if you wanted to. What's your favorite Guilty Gear version of? I don't have a favorite Guilty Gear. I don't think. I don't think I have a favorite one. I'm not sure. Do you think Arc System will change how Strive works thanks to the recent criticism? I don't know. Like I said, generally there is not a precedent for games that change a lot. Games generally do not have a precedent for being drastically different. Generally, the idea is set in stone. Could it change? Yeah, it could change, and I would expect certain things to change. But would the game drastically change? There's not a precedent to assume that the game would drastically change as it is. So we'll see how it works, but yeah. Man, I don't know how you play on keyboard, man. I don't know how you do that. What is the worst fighting game ever? That's a good question. Oh boy, I'm not sure what would be the worst fighting game ever, dude. What was the best arcade I've ever been to? When I was a kid, there was an arcade called the Tilt, and it was a two-story high arcade. That was probably the coolest arcade I've ever been to. I mean, I guess like I said, some of the Japan arcades were cool, but they were not like in the grand scheme of man. I mean, God, dude, what was the best arcade? Wow, dude. There was this one arcade that was it was at a resort. I vaguely remember it as a kid. There was this resort and there was this arcade where there's all these games throughout the entire resort. Man, what a crazy thing to think that there was a resort and there was just like arcade video games at every different part of the resort. I mean, it was just you could even like swim underneath the pool and you would go underneath the glass window of the resort, and then there was more arcades that you could. Man, what a fucking that was some crazy shit, dude. I vaguely remember that as a kid. Name my top three. What would you like to say Marvel vs. Capcom 4? I'm not good at Marvel games, so it's hard to say. I mean, hopefully I can do some cool combos in it, but I was never good at Marvel games to be able to, you know, say anything too crazy about it, right? I would like some cool characters to have cool combos, I guess, so I can at least play it for fun by myself. But your top three waifus, I don't know, but my original waifu was like Tsukasa from Ichigo 100%. I liked her a lot. Name your. I always hear Reload is the best. You know, Reload is a very. Yeah, I think Reload was very. Reload maybe was like the peak of Guilty Gear. I wonder if Reload was the peak of Guilty Gear. I wonder if they could actually find if that was true. I wonder if Reload was the peak of Guilty Gear in the mind of the fighting game community. I wonder if that might be true. Hitbox and everything like that because you can do stuff that is not humanly normally possible. What do you think about Smash Brothers? I'm not good at Smash Brothers, so I cannot exactly tell you about the level of execution and tech, but I am of the opinion that Smash Brothers is a fighting game, of course. Do you think the hate for you is because of jealousy or just, oh yeah, jealousy, of course, of course. Favorite game to just do combos and training mode in? Not sure. I don't know. Don't know. It's just after my favorite best time for me to focus. Good luck on essays, dude. You should get into Melee and break the game. Hey, well, there was that. Is that what's that? Isn't there a Smash guy that plays Pikachu and he was pretty popular, right? And I think he wore a hat or something like that. Favorite fighting game mechanics. What constitutes as a mechanic exactly? I do think FRCs are pretty cool, I guess. But mechanic, I guess it depends on what exactly is a mechanic. But Guilty Gear does have a lot of good shit, dude. I mean, Guilty Gear isn't my favorite fighting game ever, but Guilty Gear is a pretty well thought out game in a lot of areas if you think about it, right? I mean, it's an anime game from a negative perspective now, but it does have a lot of things that were put into it with goodwill at one time, so it's hard to say. You should get into me. You can actually look at Game Combo's archives. Do you play games on PC or PS, PlayStation? Two story. Do you like board games? I don't play board games at all. Man, where am I? Yo, chat. What game was better, Alpha Series or the Fatal Fury Final Bout? Can I go pee? I gotta go pee and get a water. Time out. Wait a second. We won't do this. I know we've been going for a long time, but let me get a water and do something. Pee. Oh boy. Okay. Probably not too much longer than after that. Yeah, board game. What chat was better, Alpha Series or Fatal Fury Bout? Clayton, which games do you like to watch in tournaments like Evo? Generally for Evo, I just like sporadically kind of watch a little bit of everything to get a vibe of what's going on in the game. I mean, I've even watched Smash Brothers at Evo. You know? Yeah. Axe Pikachu dude. Yeah, the Axe dude, right? No, I don't like to play. When I actually play a game, I generally only like to play a character that I think looks cool. So I don't think Fox or Falco look cool, so I wouldn't play them. Like Pikachu looks silly to me, so I would play him. What fighting game character looks the coolest to you? Ryu? Ryu back in the day. I think Ryu looks really cool. Very simple. Ryu, how about this? I said this before. Ryu went from a classic character type to a generic character type. But Ryu, when he just has like the bangs in his eyes and he just looks too cool for school, that Ryu is like a classic character type. But now Ryu, he's a monkey. He just gets mad and throws a fireball every 5 seconds. Now he's like just a generic character. You know what I mean? But I like Ryu, maybe. Guy is pretty cool. I think Guy's a cool character. Strider looks cool. Right? I mean, do you think Piccolo has a huge cock? Well, it can get bigger, I would assume. Last Blade was the shit. From what I played of Real Bop Fatal Fury 2, it seemed pretty strong. Saw us on the Street Fighter Alpha game. I think that I said this before. Now, this is going to make me sound really unpopular. Really unpopular. If we're talking about the narrative of fighting games, right? Because people ask, like, why did I like Alpha 1? Because Alpha 1 actually has like a novelty charm to it. Alpha 1, I'm not saying like competitively or whatever, is the most well-designed game ever. It actually has like a lot of clusterfuck to it. And I don't think people realize why it's actually kind of a clusterfucky game, but don't want to get into it too deeply that. Alpha 1 actually is kind of ghetto in an interesting way. It's got a bit of a novelty charm to it. Like people don't get this. Like Alpha 2, people didn't play Alpha 2 at the arcade. Alpha 2 was actually really unpopular when I remember. Alpha 1, people were playing it, right? Because Super kind of died down Street Fighter a little bit when Super came out. And then Super Turbo came out and, brought it back a little bit, but it was just kind of dying a little bit. But when Alpha came out, Alpha kind of like, people played Alpha 1 a lot when it first came out because it was just so different. You know what I mean? There's a bit of a novelty charm to Alpha 1, which I appreciate, right? It's doing something a little bit different with the narrative. Not necessarily saying it's good, but it's kind of a ghetto game in its own kind of charming way. But then you have Alpha 2, and Alpha 2 just feels like a shitty Street Fighter with custom combos. It feels like Alpha 2, you can start to see that dragon punches aren't invincible all the time anymore. A lot of moves have kind of weird priority in the game. You start seeing moves that can hit a guy, but then you get punished after it. And you're like, man, these moves aren't really well thought out. Like, why can I hit a move and then I'm punishable after it? It's really ghetto. And it's like, wow, people complained about chain combos. So then in Alpha 2, they added custom combos. And it's just like, this game is just, I would just rather play real Street Fighter. Like at least Alpha 1, it's like you can accept that I think that this game is weird. This game is just weird. This is what it is, right? Like at least it has like novelty charm. But Alpha 2 just feels like, why wouldn't I just play Super Turbo? Why wouldn't I just play a real Street Fighter? Why do I want to play like a weird, why would I play this weird Street Fighter 2, which I guess admittedly has cool backgrounds and everything like that, right? Maybe it's charming in its own way, but then you're like, moves don't work. Moves work weirdly in the game. The game has custom combos, which are such bullshit. So, the Alpha series it's a mixed bag, right? I mean, depending on your perspective. And Alpha 3 is just a totally different take on Street Fighter for better or worse, right? But when I'm at, I played Last Blade a little bit, but not much, right? So never played JoJo's. Well, how about this? I think Alpha 3. Alpha 3 is very interesting too. Alpha 1 and Alpha 3 are much more interesting than Alpha 2. I've said this before. This is going to sound pretty crazy. I think if Alpha 1, if you take the system of Alpha 1 but then you just put in the characters that were in Alpha 2 with the backgrounds of Alpha 2, I think Alpha 1 would be a more like game than Alpha 2. I think the only reason people play Alpha 2 is because when you look at Alpha 1, it's kind of like these backgrounds generally suck and there's like less characters. But I think if you think about what the game is doing, at least if you look at Alpha 1, you're like, this game is just weird. There's like a novelty charm to it. You know, it's kind of fucked up, but it's weird. But moves still do. But when you see a move, the move still is like, yeah, I can see that this move does this. But when you look at Alpha 2, there's just some moves you look at Alpha 2 and you're like, why does the move do that? This move is this move doesn't make any sense. Why did I just hit the guy and now I'm punished? What is this? And you got custom combos. And you're like, yeah, but custom combos, they make the game balanced because then any character can hit you. It's like, wow. So this character sucks, but they can custom combo me too. So technically that's what makes the game good. It's like, yeah, I'll pass. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, you know what I mean? So I know that's not saying Alpha 1 is an amazing game, but at least Alpha 1, people, like I said, people that talk shit about Alpha 1, a lot of times they don't know why the game, quotation marks, sucks. People say the guy just redizzies you every hit. What the fuck are you playing? I never played any Japanese dude that just dizzies you and redizzies you right when he hits you with guy. That's not how the game is played. I've never played the Japanese. I've never just redizzied the guy instantly. That's not how the game is played. Now, when you knock down the guy, are you about to eventually be dizzy? Yeah. But if you think about the game, the Alpha 1 sucks from a competitive standpoint because rolling in the game is so fucking weird with chain combos. And it's like, okay, if I get knocked down, you can roll everything in the game, right? You can basically roll everything in the game, right? So the game is such a clusterfuck because you're like, either I knock down the guy, and I get ready to go from a fireball knockdown or whatever, or I guess that they're going to roll and then I try to punish, right? And it's such a clusterfuck because almost every single character kills you from that. And it's just like, so say like Guy, he knocks you down and he sweeps you. And it's like, well, if I try to roll, Guy has a dizzy combo off a roll. But if I don't roll, Guy's overhead dizzies you in 3 hits. Guy can overhead you 3 times and it dizzies you. And that feels so stupid. And it's like, oh my God, I lost the entire match because I got hit by 3 overheads. You know what I mean? But that's the same thing. So it's like if you're playing Ryu or you're playing like Kuma or Ken, that's the same thing though. If they roll, if you're Ryu, like people talk about chain combos are broken. Like, dude, the best combos in Alpha 1, like, dude, if the guy rolls against Ryu, Ken, or Akuma, you just mash on little kick a few times and you do a stand hard punch, a fireball, and the guy's dizzy and they automatically lost. That's why Alpha feels stupid because the game feels so spazzy because it's like, I just lost because I guessed wrong to like a stupid mash combo to fireball or Rose. Rose is so stupid because Rose just does slide and it's unblockable. And you're like, this game is so stupid because of stuff like that. But you know what? As stupid as that is, at least Alpha 1, when you look at what the moves are doing, the moves make sense. You're like, okay, that move makes sense. That move makes sense, right? This game is just weird. The game is weird. That's how the game works. But when you look at Alpha 2, it's like, you know what? You can play Alpha 2 and like imagine if you're playing Alpha 2 even without custom combos, there are some moves in Alpha 2 that just don't make sense. That's what's annoying about Alpha 2. It's like, so not only do you have these custom combos, which are just like the community hated chain combos, but they added custom combos, which is just so stupid, right? But then Alpha 2 is, even if you don't do custom combos, there's just sometimes when you play Alpha 2 and you look at the way that certain moves work, and you're like, this move does not make sense. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm like. I don't know if you guys have played Alpha 2 and you have moments like that. I'm not saying Alpha 2 is the worst game ever or anything like that, but anyway. Your thoughts on how Riley Jigabili, what's up, I guess? Yeah, Alpha 3 is like a cool game, I think. I think it's like aesthetically an interesting game, right? No, I never played Under Night and Birth. Oh God, Barkley. My main was I don't know. Unpopular opinion. I love Street Fighter 3 Double Impact. I feel like there is a cult following for Second Impact actually. So I don't know if that's necessarily unpopular because Street Fighter 3 already is a cult game, right? Think about it. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike already is kind of a cult game, right? And then you have the people that like Second Impact already in that cult following, right? So I liked your Alpha 1 tier list you made. Thanks, dude. Are you a fan of Street Fighter 4? Not necessarily, but not I don't hate it. I mean, I played it, you know what I mean? I made combo videos for it. I played people in it. So I played Street Fighter 4 way more than I played Street Fighter 3. I mean, where am I at? Ibuki and Sean were dumb and busted in second. Second gives a character a million years to hit from supers. What the fuck are the neighbors doing? Come out. The neighbors' dogs are fighting. I don't know what the fuck is going on. The neighbors are going crazy with their dogs, I guess. Have I played Street Fighter EX3? I mean, I've played all the Street Fighter EXs, but not enough to really have an opinion on them. I do think I've watched people play Street Fighter EX, and I would be interested if I knew about the game, I would be interested in a intelligent conversation about Street Fighter EX2 and if it is a good game or not. Because when I've watched people play Street Fighter EX2, the game does not look as bad as its popularity should be. Does that make sense? Like when I've looked at Street Fighter EX2, I'm like, this game doesn't look terrible. You know what I mean? So like, did it just not catch on because of bad luck? Or did it just not, or is it just legitimately a bad game? Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So I don't know enough to say have an intelligent conversation about Street Fighter EX2. But when I look at it, I'm like, this doesn't look like the most god awful Street Fighter ever created, right? You know what I mean? So I mean, but yeah, but no, but when I remember when Street Fighter EX came out and Street Fighter 3 came out, I dare say people actually probably played their original Street Fighter EX more than Street Fighter 3 actually. What are your thoughts on Tekken? I've never played it, right? Or I played Tekken, but I'm not knowledgeable about it, right? Where am I at? I said, what's up, Riley Ghibli, dude? People like second and back because it's 50 cents and third strike was $1. Yeah, that's gonna kill a game, man. Man, get a fighting game $1 to play, right? Domestic abuse. Oh shit. Wait, domestic abuse. Where's this? Where was domestic abuse? What's about? Where are we talking about domestic abuse? I missed some kind of comment. I'm confused. I always thought second impact and new generation stages were way better than third strike. Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty normal opinion, I would think. I remember people thinking Street Fighter 4 felt like EX first. I think people disliked EX because the hitbox have a lot of clipping and shit. Yeah, again, I can't comment much on Street Fighter EX more than what I said, right? Second Impact and Next Gen actually have better graphics than Third Strike. Oh, well, dudes. Riley confirmed the butt monger again. He was probably saying, "Oh, the neighbors, yeah, the dogs were going crazy. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Their dogs were attacking each other. I don't know what the fuck that was about." Dog started humping somebody, maybe. Oh, well, dudes. We got any other conversations to talk about? I'm new into fighting games. Why do you like them? Just a nerd. I like fighting games, which I grew up with, right? Never played Grand Blue. Doesn't the Grand Blue doesn't interest me. Do I like CVS 2? Yeah, CVS 2 is fine, I guess. Like I said, I played CVS 2 before. Again, my story in CVS 2. Some people still think that I'm the one that came up with the Kim Infinite in CVS 2. And I'm sure you can look it up on YouTube and you'll see Final Showdown Kim Infinite. But I'm not actually the person that came up with it. A Japanese guy gave me the idea for it. The Cyrec guys gave me the idea for it. And then I was just the first person to like humanly do it, I guess. And so I falsely got some credit for it, but I'm not the dude that originally came up with it, actually. If there is a Dragon Ball Fire suit, how would you fix it so it's not cursed, but the same concept? Not cursed, but the same concept. What do you mean by that exactly? What do you mean exactly by not cursed, but the same concept? That's a little bit ambiguous. How long have I trained for? Working out? It was about, so C. diff was in 2008, and then it took me a year before I could work out again. So about 10 years, I guess. Is CVS2 better with roll canceling, or is E? You know what? I've actually heard some people think CVS2 is better with roll canceling, but I would say no. That's kind of weird. There's a small portion of the fighting game community I've seen that they think CVS2 is actually better because of roll canceling, but I don't think so whatsoever. Too game changing. It's too game changing. I don't know how the fuck you could think it is. It's too game changing, I think. Do you know how? Oh yeah, Final Show. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I could put a. How about this? You could probably. Let me see if I could post a link where a guy was giving me credit for it. Let me see. Because people don't remember, I used to go when I was going to those tournaments. You know, I would teach people how to do this kind of stuff. So let me see if I could find an example of that. God damn it! I hate the new. What the? No, stop YouTube. YouTube is. God damn it. Excuse me. Let's see. Final Showdown, Kim Infinite, CVS2. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you can watch at the very end. There you go. Here you go, motherfuckers. So if you can watch the end, they give me credit for it. But I'm actually not the first. Well, I guess I'm the first person to do it humanly, maybe, or in a tournament or something, maybe like that. But the Cyrec guys gave me the idea for it. And that was who originally came up with the idea for it, actually. What would you add and remove for CVS3? Man, that's such a huge question. I feel like any recommendations for dating sims? True Love 95 is good. True Love 95 is a classic, and Amagami is good, I think. Which player gave you the biggest challenges in all your years in playing in tournaments? I think the only dude that I ever played in multiple tournaments that beat me more than I beat him was actually Elven Shadow. Because I don't remember if people. I think Elven Shadow beat me more in tournaments than I beat him. But if people remember, Kai versus Faust is. You got to remember, Kai's one of the worst guys in the game in the original Guilty Gear XX, right? And that Kai versus Faust match is like an 8-2 matchup. What a fucking goddamn, that's a terrible matchup. But I think Elven Shadow is the only guy who's ever beat me more in more tournaments than I beat him when we've actually played multiple times, I guess. I don't know if I'd say that's the biggest challenge though, because we only played, a handful of times, but thoughts on esports or the competitive scene? Riley Ghibli, your content is weird. I know you keep saying what is. Yeah, the Faust guy. Yeah. What are your send orbs? Hey, I appreciate it, dude. What are your thoughts on Alex from Street Fighter 3? I think Alex is not very interesting. I don't know. I don't think he's interesting personally. Yeah, Amagami is a good game. People probably don't remember, but I'm the one that was actually helping with the. I was helping with the translations on 4chan actually. When the game first came out, I was telling people how the game worked actually. How do you copy strike people? I don't know. Why do I feel? Is this Riley Ghibli guy just a troll dude? Maybe Riley Ghibli is the dude that tries to put fake copyright stuff against me, and then I always have to prove that the video is mine on YouTube or something like that. Some old school hidden gem. Like I said, I said before, Karnav's Revenge. Karnav's Revenge runs a very fine line between being completely scrub a dub and a deceptively game. Oh God, SNK versus Chaos. Yeah, dude, that game was. There's a game. That game. Wow. Holy shit, that game was bunk as hell, dude. Yes, dude. Oh my God, dude, that was a. Yeah, that was a game that was not very popular. Man, that game died fast. What a fucking clusterfuck that game was, right? Holy moly. Man, that was a fucking clusterfuck of a game. That was not a very popular game. That game is it sounds like fucking ugh, whatever. Yeah, that game is not very popular. That game is travesty, right? I don't think, man, you want to talk okay, here's something. We're talking about how much is the Strive beta going to change between the beta of the Strive beta to the final version. And the beta version of SNK versus Capcom, I don't know if people remember this. They actually had not even finished all the animations for the characters yet. So I remember there was footage of M. Bison, and like M. Bison was in his stance, and he would just be moving across the screen. But he didn't have like a walking animation or anything like that. Like the game was not finished yet. Like people put up videos, all his animations were not done, so he's just like moving across the screen. He didn't move all. It was like wow, dude. It was really bad, dude. It was, yeah. Hey, Dudley Punch, I appreciate it, dude. Thanks, right? Opinion like don't know much about Killer Instinct. Capcom vs. Tatsunoko, never played it. Capcom Fighting Jam was a pretty jank game, but I wonder how much. And I told this story in the last stream. People probably don't remember the biggest tournament that America ever had for Capcom Fighting Jam. I think, to my knowledge, I got third at because the game died so quickly. I think the biggest tournament that because it never even made it to Evo, but there was a pretty big tournament, and I don't remember how many people it had, but I think it was the biggest tournament that America ever had for Capcom Fighting Jam. And I actually got third at that tournament, and Arturo won that tournament. Sabin, Sabin's much more famous than me, but Sabin won that tournament, and I got third actually at that tournament. But yeah, I think that was the biggest. That was the biggest fighting game, Capcom Fighting Jam tournament I think that America ever had actually. But the game died so fast, so yeah. Yeah, no. Don't command dash with Violent Ken unless you want to get banned from Twitch. Jam was one of the worst travesties of Capcom. You know that Sailor Moon game? I don't get the Sailor Moon game, but the Sailor Moon game seems to have kind of a fucking the Sailor Moon game does seem to have kind of a cult following. I don't get it, but I do see people post it a lot. But yeah. What's the deepest fighting game to you ever? It depends on your perspective. From a certain perspective, Street Fighter 2 is very deep. And I posted, let me suck myself off, right? Watch these videos. Give these videos some views. Street Super. Give these videos some views. Give these videos some views, dude. I said again, give these videos some views, dude. Just open it up and watch it later. Open it up and watch it later. You know what you guys should do? How about this? If you guys want to help me out, I dare you guys to post these kind of videos on Reddit and try to get these posted on event hubs and all that kind of stuff. Get me some views for these game theory videos, dude. That's why I always think that, the video game community probably hates me as well, because these dudes can't fucking have a conversation like me about a video game, dude. Like, these dudes can't fucking keep up with me, so they got to keep circle jerking each other back. Never played the Naruto Clash of Ninja, but what is it? Yeah, I don't know what the Riley Ghibli dude is doing. I mean, I don't listen, dude. I'm not here to like fight with people. I don't care about fighting with people. If you want to be in the chat, you want to be in the chat. But if you did just come to spam stuff, I guess I have to block you, I guess. I've heard there was a Toho fighting game, but I've never played it. Have I ever played Mugen stuff? Yes, I have, actually. Would you play Street Fighter 30th Anniversary? I don't have it, but thoughts on DSP's Super Turbo skills? DSP is interesting because DSP actually has done pretty well in some tournaments. And I think he won the PS version of one of the games, right? Didn't he? And that's a ghetto game. So DSP is interesting because I don't think it's right for people to try to take away what he has done. Now, is he a jackass or whatever? I mean, and has he made claims that aren't true? I think anyone can say that, but I think from a certain perspective as well, he has done pretty well for himself in some tournaments, right? Is that true, right? I mean, I don't think it's right for him to be, for him to talk shit, like acting like he did better than Mike Watson or something like that, or any of these legends, is not correct. And that's not a correct thing to do, right? Because he was playing on a ghetto version of the game. But he has done well for himself in some games as well, right? I mean, I care about honest conversations, right? I think he probably, or not probably, he has talked shit when it is not warranted. And he has said some things he shouldn't have said, but certainly he has also done well for himself in certain games as well, right? I know that's probably not a popular opinion. I know he's basically a joke of the community now, but maybe because of some of his own doings. And again, I don't agree with him acting like, to act like the Evo, because did he win Evo or did he get second? What was that story? I don't know what it is. To act like that game was more important than real Super Turbo is not correct, and he shouldn't have done that. But he did technically win, so I don't think you should necessarily totally discredit everything he's ever done in that sense. Does that make sense? I know I'm kind of like running a fine line here, I guess. Oh, he got fourth at Evo? Oh, okay. I thought there was some, I don't know. So whatever the case was, what else are we talking about? Spam. Yeah, hey, I dare you to post my game theory videos. I dare post these game theory videos that I've done on Kappa or anything. Post like how the dust loop saved Guilty Gear. How the dust loop saved Guilty Gear. Anyway. What is this? Is this the correct how the dust loop saved Guilty Gear? Whatever the fuck we're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. Post these videos on Kappa or whatever the fuck if you want. 4chan, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so here's my thing. I can tell you this. How about this? You want to know who I think actually deserves more hate for Super Turbo? You want to know who deserves more hate for Super Turbo? A lot of these fake OGs deserve more hate for Super Turbo. I see a lot of dudes who talk like they're OG, and are not that like I don't want to like throw too much shade because I don't want people to think. I can tell you like I mean you can look it up, right? Like when GGPO was first coming on, and you can even look at it on Discord, and there actually are matches of me playing Super Turbo, and people think it's Damn Die's fake account. I'm not going to tell you which match it is, but there are matches of people playing Super Turbo on YouTube, and people are asking, is this one of Damn Die's fake accounts, right? And it's actually me, but because back when GGPO was first going for Super Turbo, one of my fake accounts was considered right under ST Player and Damn Die. There was a guy named ST Player, if you guys know this. There was Damn Die and ST Player, and Seiko Sta was one of my fake accounts, and that was me. That was actually me. That was not Damn Die's fake account or anything like that. That was a fake account that I would randomly use. Or maybe they called me Seiko. I forget. I forget exactly the fake account, but anyway, I can tell you, I used to sign under some of these fake names, and I would beat some of these supposedly really good OG players in Super Turbo. A lot of these fake OG players think they were good because they played Super Turbo back then. Just because you played a game back then doesn't mean you were good. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Some of these dudes were not that good, but anyway. What is this? God bless. Ninja of Death, I'm dead. I'm going to sleep later. The fridge. Non-fighting game question. Any plans on growing the channel? Well, dude, like I said, I would love to make some fucking money off YouTube. Jesus Christ, I would love to. That's why I'm trying to go a little bit more hard on the videos, because I feel like it's so ridiculous that you got dudes that are making money off of talking shit about me. And it's like, can I just make $5 off of YouTube? You know what I mean? But yeah, no, but like for the Super Turbo thing, like I said, you can actually look up, and this is, I know some people like Clayton searches his name, and I do search my name. And if you actually look on some of the Super Turbo Discords, you can even see people are like, is this Damn Die's fake account or is this Clayton? You can actually look on some of the Discords and they're talking about, is this the Damn Die fake account or is this Clayton, right? Because I did used to play Super Turbo under fake names, right? So anyway. I don't know. The way he plays DJ just seems kind of shallow, but he certainly gets good. So yeah, I'm not here to talk. I'm not here to throw shade on DSP or anything like that. I would throw shade on DSP for some of the claims he's made, but certainly he's done pretty well for himself in some tournaments, right? Like again, I'm not here to like, I'm not trying to defend people. I'm not trying to defend LTG when he makes all these claims. I'm not here to defend anything like that. I will try to look at it objectively. I don't agree with LT. I know like a lot of DSP, the whole thing was he's trying to act like it was a better Super Turbo and he beat these, like guys like Mike Watson in a real. He didn't. That's not true. But he did do well for himself. So don't take that away from him, because that's not right either. I know he's a joke now, and he jacked off on stream, which I think is pretty funny, personally. I think it's funny that he jacked off on stream. Personally, I think it's funny, but hate him for what is true. Don't hate him for what is not true. Does this make sense? Hate someone for what is true. Don't hate them for what is not true. Okay, does that make sense? That's my opinion on somebody. If people want to hate Clayton because Clayton has an ego and Clayton can be a selfish person, I'll take it. But don't hate Clayton for a lie that somebody made up, that Clayton lied about winning tournaments, that Clayton lied about doing this. Don't hate me for that. You can hate Clayton because Clayton, I can be a selfish person. But you know what? Clayton doesn't go around making up lies about people, right? I don't do that kind of shit, right? So whatever, right? What am I talking about? Would you compete in the competitive scene again? No. I don't know, the way he plays these is kind of shallow again. And were people horny for waifus in the arcade? You got to remember, when I was a kid, I was in arcades before I could jack off. So I wasn't jacking off to anime characters when that went out during Street Fighter 2, okay? I'm not that old. I'm not old enough to say that I cared about wanting to jack off to video games when Street Fighter 2 was around. So I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to remember growing up during arcades, but I'm not old enough to be busting nuts to Street Fighter characters when they first came out. It's just all because but he terrible at most other game. Yeah, DSP jacked off on stream, but he didn't bust the gig and nut. Yeah, he fucked up. He didn't go full potato. He should have gone full potato. Anyway, dudes, it's almost 8 o'clock. Do we have some more questions before I go? I appreciate the people that donated to the stream. It actually does help me out. I mean, it's actually, like I said, it's actually amazing because I basically make nothing off YouTube. So I'll fucking take it. I do appreciate it, dude. Again, any other questions before I go? I wanted to stream, but I wanted to stream on Twitch while I was doing combos, but I can't get Twitch to work, but I guess it was kind of down or something. But anything else we want to talk about before I go? This kind of was a ask me anything, wasn't it? This kind of was an ask them thing, I thought. Oh, I'm sure you could stream games on YouTube, but I have no idea. My stuff isn't set up to do that right now, so I'm not sure. More ask me anything. Like I said, I don't mind. Well, dude, I'm kind of motivated to do it, dude, because I actually made like $20, or I don't know how much people donated to. Did I make like $20? Fucking amazing, dude. I'll take that because I basically make shit off YouTube. I'll take $20. I'll fucking take it, dude. What you say about uni block not double but only timing? I don't know what uni block double timing means. Keep up the YouTube streaming, man. Seems work out. I appreciate it, dude. Hey, and I know I've seen you comment on my videos. I appreciate it, dude. If you ever want to share my videos on Event Hubs or Kappa, you can do it. I does anyone actually know why Event Hubs won't post my videos? I really don't know what it is. I don't know if I beat people too badly or something like that. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's very fucking strange. It's very strict. I don't know what Event Hubs has against all my videos. Up, down, block X, but only one button for universal block? Dude. All right, is this like a block button like Mortal Kombat or something? I don't even know what that means. Oh, should I show you the arms? Ooh, look at those. Look at that. Do I got muscles? My baby muscles? Look at those muscles. Those gains, right? Event Hubs is like the biggest actually. It's kind of sad to say. It's like the biggest fighting game site there is. They post everything, but they've always basically refused to post my videos for years. I don't know what it is. I've had like a few videos ever posted on there in all the years. I think it was actually a mistake that they posted my videos before, right? Will you stream Ultra? I don't know if I'll stream, but of course I plan on doing videos, right? So I think Event Hubs just wants to post videos from people who get more views, make longer vids. Yeah. Well, hey, how about this? If anyone wants to post those videos on Kappa, whatever it is, and how about this? You know how much I am a nerd? I don't even know what Kappa means. What does Kappa even mean? Can you guys tell me? I don't know what the fuck it means. This should be my thumbnail. Daimo, make a thumbnail of this. What does Kappa mean? I don't know what the fuck it means. This is like we have one titty showing. What does Kappa mean? I don't know what the fuck that even means. 簡単なら少し日本語ができるけど、でもちょっと恥ずかしいから勘弁してくれ。So I know a very, very little bit of Japanese. Hey, Kali Kovosi Master. Hey, I watch it, dude. Oh, another one, dude. Sweet, dude. Hey, you just donated twice. I appreciate it, dude. Like I said, this is more than I make off fucking YouTube most of the time. So, dude, right? Like I said, I have nothing against Kappa. I have nothing against 4chan. I just have stuff against the people that make up lies about me. I mean, very simple, but that's just real life, right? I mean, He-Man. Mistype, but you deserve it. Hey, I appreciate it, dude. Like I said, I was going to make my next game theory video. I might upload it today but I just uploaded a fragrance video. I have another idea for a game theory video. I talked about it. I want to talk about the narrative of emotion in fighting games because recently I made the videos about the narrative of fighting games, about the narrative about how a fighting game teaches you about the game. Like Super Turbo, Sagat and Balrog, since they're in the limelight, they teach you about the game. You can see both the good and the bad, They're both the good and the bad guy of the game. So they teach the casual audience about the game very easily, right? And a game like Guilty Gear, Soul was a very good character because casual players can appreciate fundamental Street Fighter ideas, but to do fundamental Street Fighter ideas to make it have an influence on the match, you have to learn about Guilty Gear. And then like a game like Karnav's Revenge has a bad narrative because to see the unique aspects of Karnav's Revenge, it's very hard. It takes a lot of skill to do that, right? So I was talking about the narrative of games, how you teach a casual person about games. So I was going to do a video about how you get someone emotionally invested in a game. So I was going to do a narrative about that. That will probably be the next narrative video for video games. So look forward to that, I guess, if you guys like those kind of videos. They don't get a lot of views, but if you guys ever want to share them. I appreciate the views. I appreciate my quarter that I make off it, right? So, Clayton, do you think the return of Marvel 2 Evo means Capcom was about to make a new? Yes, I do. I would assume that's what it meant, actually. That's what I was guessing. I think they were going to be making a new Marvel game because I don't know. It's very random to be doing that, right? It doesn't make sense to me. So that was my that's why I thought they were doing that. Yes, I do agree with that idea. What do you think is the best way to get non-fighting game players into the FGC? I think generally into the FGC or just into fighting games in general. Into the FGC or fighting games in general. I think you need to appreciate core fundamental aspects of fighting games because what was it? It was like 16 or whatever, 15 million people played Street Fighter. So if you can make a game where you can see the Street Fighter in the game, that is the best way to make a fighting game. The game could be completely flashy. You could have whatever, but as long as you can appreciate the core fundamental ideas of Street Fighter in the game and explain the new game in a way that respects those, I think that is actually the most important thing. You could throw in anime titties, throw in Dead or Alive. It doesn't matter, but you need to respect those fighting game, those core fundamental things. So people have an idea of like, this is a Dragon Punch. That's a Hadouken. I get it, right? Yes, I like KOF. KOF is that's where my name came from. Final Showdown. Saishu Kusen. Kyo Super. I thought was cool. Hit me up if you need more Boku no Piku. Hey, I actually feel bad for abusing you for that. Like, I actually wouldn't mind you making more thumbnails for me, but I feel like I'm abusing you, even for those few of them, right? Did you like Street Fighter 4? I don't know if I like it, but I don't hate it per se. You know what I mean? But I don't like Monkey Ryu. Oh, God, do I hate Monkey Ryu. Fuck Monkey Ryu. Monkey Ryu looks so fucking stupid. God damn, I hate fucking Monkey Ryu. What a terrible character. Fighting games have a big stigma with casual gamers. They think they lack single-player content. Yeah, I do think it is important to an extent to have story modes and all that kind of stuff. I do think that is important to an extent, yeah. Like most people will buy fighting games, never play a single online match. The issue is you have to have a grind really to get good at fighting games. Do you think the visual evolution of fighting games would be if the hit reaction would be more diverse? Ooh, well, that sounds like. Do you think the visual evolution for fighting game would be if the hit reaction animation would be more diverse and not only flashy? You would have to explain that exactly what you mean, I think. What's my favorite King of Fighter game? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what my favorite King of Fighter game is. King of Fighters is a game. How about this? I'm gonna do this the last because I do got dude. I've been on here for almost 3 hours. I feel like. I think King of Fighters that's not English, does a good job of reinventing their characters, and this is why there is no perfect fighting game ever, because every game has their own kind of quirks that appeals to you at a time, right? Like look at King of Fighters. King of Fighters has reinvented itself so many times with characters. And so sometimes it's just like, oh, I like Kyo in that game. I mean, look at Kim. Kim has never had an EX Kim in any King of Fighter game, but Kim totally could. You could totally have different Kims. So it might just be like, oh, I liked Kim in this game. I like Kim in this game. I like Kim in this game. Or look at Kyo. There's Ness Kyo, But even Nest Kill could have like an EX Nest Kill, an EX Nest Kill, because even then he's had different moves. He's had like the 411 locomotive upper, that move that takes like 30 seconds to charge. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when you look at games, this is why I don't think there's any perfect game ever, because certain games you're just like, I like the game system of that. I like the game system of that. I like how this character was in this game. I like how this character was in this. So I think it's very hard to have a most perfect fighting game ever, right? Anyway, guys, okay, I don't know what the Riley Ghibli guy is. Like, dude, I'm not here to fight with you, bro. But I guess I'm just going to, I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna block you if you keep talking. I don't know. I don't have a problem, but I don't know if you just came here to troll, I guess, I don't really have a problem, but it's just gonna keep going on. But anyway, many reaction. Well, we'd have to talk about this again, I guess, if we do another stream, but I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. But anyway, dudes, thanks for tuning into the stream. Thanks for all the guys that donated. Give you guys 30 seconds to say anything else you want to say before I go. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks to all the dudes that donated. Hopefully YouTube doesn't steal the money from me. I'll try to take it. Anything else? 10. I've been into fighting games since a kid. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Share those videos. Share those videos. Give me some views. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, dudes. I appreciate it. Later.